G'day guys, the Simon Black Academy is all about education and sport. Our partner in education is Torrens University, where our students either do a 1-year diploma course or a 3-year Bachelor of Business. Around that we run a football and athletic program based here at Norwood Oval, and it's all about trying to develop and take our students' game to a new level. Around that also, our third pillar, besides education and football, is personal development. If you want to get involved, check out our website, which is simonblack.com.au.
Well folks, we're down here at the Banner Crew. Our friend, supporter and sponsor of Between the Posts has joined us. Welcome Jason Goods.
Thanks Tony, nice to be with you.
What can the people out there expect to buy from the Banner Crew and get looked after?
Pretty much anything that you can put your club logo on or a message from the club, whether it be like you mentioned, a marquee or a flag or an A-frame or a banner, a stubby holder, a pen, anything like that, anything that you can pop the club branding on. Everything's customisable, so basically we've got an in-house design department with 2 graphic designers that can work toward getting the message across that you're after.
We're down here at 318 to 326 St Vincent Street, Port Adelaide. Jason, thank you so much for your support.
In the Buddy Bet Division 1 season. It was right here at this ground 12 months ago that Prince Alfred Collegians claimed their second ever Division 1 premiership. But to have a crack at going back to back, they're going to have to get past the Goodwood Saints side, smarting from a dead set shocker in their second semi, hell bent on restoring their righteous reputation. Thanks to all those that helped bring this massive match to you, the Banner Crew, Buddy Bet, Sip and Save, Wakefield Sports Clinic, Sportal, Police Credit Union, O'Connell Meats Central Market, Simon Black Academy, Roller Dice Racing, Archie's Footwear, New Balance, Powerade, Dartfish, Sports Interactive, CMAX Clinical Research and the Moseley Bar and Kitchen. Coming up, it's the 2020 Premiers, the Goodwood Saints, against the defending champions, Prince Alfred Old Collegians. Who will make it to the final Saturday of the season? Thanks to Filming Footy, this is the Adelaide Footy League. Well, good day, footy fans, and welcome to a glorious Saturday afternoon here in Adelaide. Hisense Stadium, you can see the backdrop of the city there, all the skyscrapers and the new apartments as we come down to Hisense Stadium and preliminary final day in the Buddy Bet Division 1, the Adelaide Footy League. You can see there Spock and Port District in the Bs. It is Spock leading by 10 points, 10 minutes into the final quarter. I'm Phil Hearn, and thanks so much for joining us. I say us because I got Sean Jacko Jackson with me. Jacko, you're revved up for this time of year.
Oh, how could you not be, Phil? Interesting, just sitting here watching the planes go past, Phil. Obviously close to the airport. It's always nice to see and bring back memories of being away on holiday. But
it was only 2 weeks. It was only a week ago.
Yeah. But take me back, although the sunshine today was beautiful to see.
Yeah.
But it was nice to be able to just put a shirt on, but then coming up to the top of this grandstand, it's a little bit fresh at the top of the grandstand.
It's going to be, I think by the end of the day, it's going to drop a few degrees. Right now, I think if you're out there on the oval, it's pretty pleasant.
Yeah.
I reckon not a bad day to play some football. Huge match. Goodwood Saints, Prince Alfred Old Collegians. Two teams that know what it is to play in a grand final and win a grand final, but they've got to win this to get there.
Yeah, I'm a little bit concerned for Goodwood Saints, to be honest, Phil. I think the bigger ground, a drier surface, and they're a little bit stiff in some respect because traditionally the prelim final is played at the top finishing side, which would have been Goodwood Saints.
Yes.
And we know they're always difficult to beat on their own small home deck. My mail is that Prince Alfred, when they found out last week after their game, quickly, who won? They said, Port Districts. Okay, so we're playing against
Goodwood Saints.
Goodwood Saints. And where's the venue? Richmond.
Yes.
And they clapped and cheered.
Yeah.
So they fancy their chances on this oval much more than they would on Goodwood Saints.
Well, of course, it was just 12 months ago that Prince Alfred, we were here. They won their grand final against Payneham Northern Union. So that's our opinions. What do the coaches say about it all? Craig Lambert caught up with both of them just a short time ago.
Welcome to Richmond Oval. I've got Luke Donaldson. I know he's very busy from Goodwood Saints. Luke, all the best for this week, mate. And it's who really wants to go to the big dance more today, matey?
Yeah, absolutely, Lambo. We're super excited for a prelim. Obviously, we're disappointed last week, but we've always bounced back really well this year. And, 2 weeks ago, probably played our best game of the year. So we've got to make sure we bring that intent and effort from the start today.
7 days, a lot of things happen in 7 days. And like I said to you after the game last week, put that to one side. You just dismissed that too, which is great. No doubt the boys train well this week. And is there any injuries or you're all raring to go, matey?
No, we've got Levi Elms back, which is a fantastic in for us. He's got great leg speed. He's super hard at the footy and he puts a lot of pressure on, and that's how we want to play our footy. So he's a huge in for us. And then, look, we've backed in the guys that have done the job all year to put us, second on the ladder at the end of the year. And they're all really excited to atone for last week.
Well done. Great week for the Goodwood Footy Club. You had a medal winner.
Yeah, mate, that was really exciting. We don't normally win the individual ones. So Fav's had a fantastic year. I think he's been, if he hasn't been the best player in the comp for 3 years, I think he's one of the best. And he's a tremendous leader of our guys as well. He loves his footy. And it's just great reward for hard effort over probably 3 years with us.
Well done, mate. From Dartfish and the Adelaide Footy League, you always take time out to have a chat to us, mate. I know you're busy today. All the best. Hopefully we can have a beer after the game and you celebrate, mate. And we really appreciate everything and all the best today, matey.
Thanks very much, Lambo. Cheers, mate.
Welcome to Richmond Oval today. Half time in the reserves game. I've got the opportunity to speak to Craig Pitt from the Prince Alfred Football Club. Great win last week, Craig, but who wants to go to the big dance more today, mate? That's what it's all about, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we just got over the line against Glunga last week. They were a really good team and they battled well all day, and it was a bit of a scrap near the end, and just hung on, which was fantastic and gives us an opportunity to hopefully extend our season by another week today. But like you said, it just comes down to who wants it more, really. And in finals, they're two great teams. Hopefully, obviously, there's 3 teams left in the comp now, so it just comes down to the effort on the day, really.
How was this week's training, mate? And you got any injuries, or you're all fully fit, raring to go?
Yeah, no changes, which is nice. We haven't been like that much this year, so come to finals, get a bit of continuity. It's a good time to do it. Training was very wet this week, especially Thursday night. I think we had a few puddles on the oval, so we had a bit of fun with it. But very light, as you can imagine.
Fantastic, mate. Your form's been good. I must admit, watching and commentating your second half of the year has been outstanding, and all I can say is from the Adelaide Footy League and Dartfish, thanks for taking out your time to have a chat today, mate, and I know you've got preparations to do, and all the best, Craig.
No, thank you guys. Thank you for doing such a good job with the games, and hopefully we're talking to you afterwards.
No worries, mate. You'll shout for a beer too.
Yeah, no problems. If we win, sure.
Okay, back to you. Thank you very much.
Cheers. Thanks, mate.
And once again, we thank both coaches for their time. It was a pretty big day. Both premiership coaches, as we see the backdrop there. The weather conditions pretty pleasant, going to be 15 degrees, some scattered cloud. Just trying to get a gist on the wind, Jack. I know Lambo will give us a ground report. There is a wind, but no windsock to give us a gist of where it's going.
No, there used to be a windsock here at Richmond, directly opposite us. And
Dougie Thomas used to tie it up from time to time.
there's obviously some renovations going on here over the north eastern pocket. Looks like they're putting in some turf there, some new toilets and a little bit of shelter there.
Should put a barbecue in there.
Yeah.
BYO to the footy.
Yeah, and that area in the middle there looks like it's fenced off, but yet there's a bit of a crowd that have managed to squeeze their way in there. Given,
I think what they've done is they've come onto the ground at the quarter time breaks and kept on going after the huddle.
Yep.
They've decided that's where they want to watch the game from. Fair enough.
Well, you've got the binoculars, but they're wearing yellow hats.
Okay.
No. Quite a few of them look like they've got yellow hats on. I'm saying they're from St. Peter's, St. Cheetahs.
No, one's got a PDFC.
Okay, they're Port Districts, are they? Right.
It's hard to tell. They're actually come incognito, but there is a little bit of black there, and there's definitely one PDFC. Anyway, let's get on to the game in question.
All right, let's have a look at it. Who's playing?
Well, let's have a look. Goodwood Saints are first up, and I mean, I said in the intro it was a dead set shocker last week. Is it just a one-off blimp, or is it something more substantial? We'll find out. Moves in 85. 9 Division 1 flags in 37 years is a fair old run, including 5 in a row from 2004 to 09. And they've been in Division 1 for 32 seasons, which is the longest current run of any club. Recent times they have been around the mark. Even if they lose here, Jacko, they are 3 straight years in the top 3. And look, sometimes you do need things just to fall you at the right time to win a premiership. But if you're consistently finishing top 3, it means you're a strong, consistent club.
Oh, there's no question Goodwood Saints is a strong, consistent football club and have been for a considerable amount of time. That doesn't take away from the fact that I think they're going to be up against it today. And I actually think they think they're going to be up against it today.
I think everybody thinks they're up against it.
So, does that mean you write them off? Well, I say write Goodwood Saints off at your peril because we've been left with that. Well, certainly I have been left with egg on my face many times.
This is a game that we sort of thought pre-season could be a grand final preview before Princes had their slow start. But you can see their worst season they had was 8 in 2016, but they've made the finals 5 straight years, last 3 at least top 3. Let's have a look at Goodwood Saints for 2022. They've been the consistent team, which made last week, I guess, such an aberration in terms of their 2022 season. Really didn't have any poor patches. The one note in question was that that loss we saw. And maybe this has got a fair bit to do with our thinking as well. We've seen Princes go to Goodwood and emerge with a 17-point win in round 17. Sporadic losses, but their biggest one of the season was last week at Port District.
Yeah, no question about that. Well, I guess the thing that gives them some confidence with today is they haven't lost 2 games in a row, have they?
No. So they've always found a way to bounce back.
And we have called them many times, Phil, and written them off at half-time in games, only for them to come out after half-time and turn the game on its heel. Now, they weren't able to do that last week. That's the interesting thing about last week. They made some positional changes at half-time, which I thought was really proactive of the coach. But the fact that they couldn't really make any inroads into the half-time deficit was a worry for me.
I think there was one occasion where they kicked 2 goals in a row.
Yeah.
It was just after I said that Port District were home, which usually makes those things happen. But that was it. There was 5 minutes of Goodwood Saints time and the rest either neutral or definitely Port District. Their opposition, Prince Alfred Old Collegians, school 150 plus years. 2026, booking in your diaries now, will be 100 years of Prince Alfred Old Collegians. 3rd oldest club in the comp. I love the story they asked to be demoted to Div 2 so they could just get at St. Peter's in their first season. Took them till 2016, the 90th anniversary of the club, to win their first flag. Only took them 5 years to win the second. Can they go back to back? And I think we were talking, you've mentioned quite a few times during the season, Jacko, no Old Scholars club has won 3 Div 1 flags.
Yeah, that's right. Can they win it this year? Well, they've got to get through this game before they worry too much about can they win the premiership again. Funnily enough, I did speak to Jeff Riddle a couple of days ago, who was the St. Peter's Old Collegians coach, and he said something interesting to me. He said they played Princes in the elimination final, and their overwhelming belief was that whoever won that elimination final would win the grand final.
Okay.
Now, my answer to that is then you shouldn't have finished fifth. You've obviously underachieved with Liston.
Okay.
And we could talk about St. Peter's, but if you go through St. Peter's spine, it's, you look and pick a team of the year across the whole competition. St. Peter's could almost give you the whole spine, talent-wise.
Well, you had to do the team of the year, and you would have probably had a St. Peter's nominee in all of those spine positions.
So it was only when I was going through that process I realised, gee, for me, they are the biggest underachiever of the year, St. Peter's. And Prince Alfred, if they can get to the premiership, well, whilst Port District's effort's been terrific to date, and we can't question that at all, if Prince Alfred can go back-to-back on the back of how many players they lost from last year, that will be a significant achievement in my eyes.
Absolutely. And where they were at 2 and 6, and they were in the relegation zone, not far off the halfway points. Let's have a look at Prince Alfred in recent years. You can see Div 2 premiers in 2015 as very quickly the Bees are done and dusted. St. Peter's, well, their Bees are into a grand final, 12-10-82, Port District 7-7-49. They will play Old Ignatians in the B grade grand final. Earlier today in the Seas, Prince Alfred by 50 over Port District. They'll play Goodwood Saints. But back to the Prince Alfred A grade side, because they're not going to be too far from running out. Very consistent. Their season, look, it really is a tale of two halves. Lots of losses, 3 and 6 at the first half, 7 and 2 in the second half, and that only real hiccup, we called both of them, the 3-point loss to Port District that could have gone either way, and an 18-point loss to Glenunga that they reversed last week. Look, they're a team in hot form, and that's what you want to be right at this point of the season.
They are, and their top 12 players are better than any other side's top 12 players, talent-wise and profile-wise. But what concern for me is Jordan Neal in the ruck. Look, he's done a powerful job this year. They lost Cam Milne with a game Cam Giles, where he pulled his hamstring. So he's had to go on his own from there. I guess Will Dowwood can go into the ruck, and they've got Ben Siebels, who will give them a hit out in the ruck. But it's a powerful job taking on the best ruckman in the competition, Tom Carter. We saw Tom Carter dominate the ruck last week.
And it didn't matter, did he, Squat?
No. So
Port District's just read everything he tapped down.
Yeah, so if you're a Prince Alfred coaching staff, you would have watched that video last week and went, well, you know what, we can capitalise as well on Tom Carter's dominance if that ends up going that way. But Jordan Neal's a good jumper. He can jump at it okay, but
his around the ground work is very good.
Yeah,
he in the game I saw against St. Peter's, he was sensational. One quick thing about Prince's to finish off with: the same team playing today, the same team that played last week, the same team that played the elimination final. They are a settled squad. They've got their injuries out of the way. I think they're pretty well. Cam Giles obviously the big loss, but no late changes needed. I think they're settled and ready to fire.
Yeah, the other thing I'm really looking forward to is the start field, because Goodwood Saints are a proud outfit, and as you mentioned, they finished third, top 3 years in a row. They wouldn't be happy with what they dished out last week, and if you've got any pride in your own personal performance, you'd be making sure you didn't dish that effort up 2 weeks in a row. So I'm expecting a pretty strong response from Goodwood Saints early in the game. Now, can they maintain that? Can they sustain it over 4 quarters on a bigger ground? I think PAC's got a bit more outside speed, which may worry Goodwood Saints. The other thing I think Prince Alfred do is they bat a little bit deeper than Goodwood Saints. I reckon the last couple in Goodwood Saints picked wouldn't get a game in Prince Alfred's team. So
Tommy Bartlett's a big return, isn't he? Two goals last week. Got the beanie the game that they played against each other with, I think, 3 goals and a really key assist in a low-scoring contest. Just add something up forward for them where they were probably lacking a bit earlier in the season.
Well, yeah, and it's almost a desperate move, isn't it? When you bring a bloke who hasn't had any pre-season at his age, who's given the game away, who's just playing in the C's, and you convince him in the middle of the year to come back into the A grade, it's almost a desperate move. But boy, it's paying dividends.
So far, so good. You can see our umpiring crew, our umpires today, Stefan Selderblad, Matt Harris with the whistles, Sam Scarman and Tristan Rogers will be throwing it in from the boundary. Steve Martin and Chris May will be in the goals. Third part of our commentary crew, Craig Lambert, is down in the centre circle chatting to the umpires as we speak. We will go to him for the coin toss and the ground report fairly shortly. It is a pretty huge day. This is prelim final in Div 1, but what about the rest of the city, Jacko? The grand finals, and there's 16 grand finals today, including 5 at A grade level. Broadview Sacred Heart at Norwood will be a cracker. Really hard to pick for mine.
Yeah, I'm concerned for Sacred Heart in that one of their stalwarts, Matt Delmenico, got a late season injury and hasn't come up, and probably the main out is Tristan Carcuro, the full forward who spent some time at Woodville West Torrens. He's also out with injury, so
ready, Phil?
On the back of that, I think they are in a little bit of trouble, Sacred Heart.
All righty, thanks for that, Jacko. Let's go live to the centre of Hisense Stadium. Our boundary rider, Craig Lambo Lambert.
Sean and Phil, what a day, mate. Who wants to go to the big dance more than anyone today? We're going to find out soon, and the toss could be an indication. So on your screen, on the right-hand side, the southern end, that's worth about 2 or 3 goals. Ground conditions excellent. It's going to be 16 degrees, a low of 4. The 2 captains are going in for the toss now. Just shaking hands, and let's see who's going to win the toss. Oh, Goody Saints won the toss, and they're going against the breeze, Jacko and Phil. So we'll see what happens. So that's to the left of your screen. But my prediction today, boys, is Goody Saints by 14 points. Like you said, Jacko, they won't play 2 bad games, and their asset today is in their ruck. And I reckon if they start off well, they will win by 2 to 3 goals. Let's have a great call. Back to you, boys, and I'll speak to you throughout the game. All the best.
Lambo absolutely loved it here for the grand final. He got in, he started sitting with all the lady fans in the crowd.
Today?
No, last year, if you remember, in the grand final. He's pumped for a big day, and it's not even grand final day, as are we all. So I almost thought Benny Houseborough pointed one way, then started pointing the other. We might need to check that out, but I'm pretty sure they are, as Lambo said, going into the breeze in the first quarter. Very quickly, because I think this game is going to start a little late, which is good. Golden Grove Edwardstown in Div 3, that's up at Elizabeth. Golden Grove undefeated season. Edwardstown have had a storming run into the grand final, but surely the Kookaburras.
Yeah, I've got a nephew playing in the Kookaburra sides, so I've got to declare my allegiance there, Phil. I think they will get the chocolates easily today.
Pembroke Old Scholars and Hope Valley playing at Woodville for the Div 4 Premiership.
Yep, well, Pembroke have been poor performers the last couple of years in finals time, so it's good to see them make it through to a grand final. Talent-wise, their top-end talent is extraordinary, so I think Pembroke get the win there.
And, of course, the 9 News Division 4, Sip and Save Division 3. Wakefield Sports Clinic Division 5, Hectorville and Lockleys. Lockleys got there in the end.
Can't believe Lockleys have been so dominant during the year, and yet their finals form has been just okay.
Got there just
okay.
2 narrow wins, one of them reversed.
Yeah. So, look, Ben Haran well held last week. Best player, won the medal in the competition, kicked over 100 goals. Well held last week. I can't see that happening again. So, for me, Lockleys will win the premiership in Div 5.
And finally, at Campbelltown, for me, the most dominant team in all of A grade across the Adelaide Footy League, Trinity Old Scholars and West Croydon. I have a feeling the Hawks might just be the sacrificial offering this afternoon for Trinity, who have belted teams by an average of 85 points this season.
Yeah, it's a pretty remarkable season, isn't it, for the Trinity, or as you like to call them, Phil, the Tossers.
No, that's you got the patents on that. Don't put that on me.
Sorry, the Tossers. And I think the Tossers will deserve to start favourites and will win.
Alrighty, and one last tip, Jacko, the big one here, the Goodwood Saints, Prince Alfred. Who have you got, by how much and why?
Prince Alfred, I think I've already said why, Phil. The open space, the extra leg speed, the quality at the top end all suggests to me that PAC will win. And I think reasonably comfortably. I'm going to go by 4 goals, Phil.
Yeah, I think I'm going to agree with you. PAC margins I always find difficult. Maybe 6 goals, because finals sometimes do blow out a little bit late once a team realises that its season is done and dusted. Alrighty, Buddy Bet Division 1. We thank Jason and the Banner crew for their matchday sponsorship. Filming Footy, the prelim final. You're with Sean Jackson.
Alrighty, looks the midfield as a very imposing look about it with Prince Alfred. Neil goes up, but Carter gets first hands on it. Jolly nearly took it out of the middle. It's come now back into the centre square. Neil handballs it off. Now to McNamara, the captain. Gets it on only, it's right in the back of Trengo's head, I think. He appeals for the mark, but you can't, well, I guess you can. It hits you in the back and then you follow it up with a mark. I suppose that is a mark, Phil.
What's a touch? Where does it have to touch?
Good news for Goodwood Saints supporters. Ben Holzbauer not strapped like he has been, although he just copped a bit of a hit in that last passage of play.
He was the one who tackled McNamara. Looks like the two captains are actually manned up. Sort of. They're giving each other 10 metres of space at the moment.
Yeah, my mail for the Prince Alfred people is McNamara has been their best player across the year and will win their best and fairest. But Goodwood Saints now come out through Reece Slate. Out the far side, the Lowby, the little racehorse, but it cops a really bad bounce. And Prince Alfred see it safely out of bounds, and then we'll have a throw in right in the middle of the ground on the
city side. The city side.
Yeah.
No, easy for you. The city side, the airport side, I don't know, with the planes coming in, grandstand side. Glorious day. The St. Peter's and Port Districts crowd are starting to head for home, but the Goodwood Saints and Prince's fans happy to take their close car parks. As Prince's have it, they haven't gained the ground. Some good work by the boundary here. Picked up now by Buckham, who alludes to left 2 Goodwood Saints opponents in their wake. Now it's towards Campbell Wildman. He couldn't pick it up. Some scrappy footy early, as you would expect. And some tackling. Is that Trengrove with the tackle?
Yep.
It was.
Sure is.
Had a very good work rate with the tackles last week. He had Craig Pitt leading the way statistically, of course, thanks to Dartfish. Tommy Anderson with the clearance. Darwood read that perfectly. Got some separation between him and Angus Ranner. That's going to be a fascinating. There's fascinating matchups everywhere. Jacko, Darwood versus Ranner is going to be one of them.
Yeah, well, once again you consider that Will Dowd had a pretty limited pre-season, I'd be looking to try and run him around. His ability to read the play, though, is second to none. So a real challenge for Angus Rana, but I would imagine Luke would be saying to him, listen, try and run him around and try and get him to blow up a little bit, because that's your only chance.
Well, there is no one north of the centre circle at the moment.
Yeah.
So that's exactly what they're planning. He's doing, I reckon.
Yep, and a good idea. So we've got a ball in on the far side. Goodwood Saints tap it forward. Ollie Johnson has it. Now the medalist Favretto hacks it around the corner. Go to that man we speak of, Rana, but again Dowd too classy. Gives it off to McNamara. He straightens up now. Goes to Tommy Bartlett direction, but a little bit off centre. Goodwood Saints good enough to bring the ball this way to Tommy Anderson. Cleverly holds the play up. Not a lot to kick to in front of him. He's probably going to have to change the angle. In the end, he comes towards Mason Ellis. It's not the greatest kick. Mason, plenty of time though. Goes with the right foot, with a bit of length. Now, Lowby has it. Can he hit? That's the... So, I mean, that's what we just spoke about, his ability to read the play. But you can't put that down in a reading play. That's just a poor kick.
It just went straight to him. He barely had to move.
It's almost like he had a radar.
That's right.
Angus Rana's a real chance here, though, Phil, to get the first goal of the day. If he can get a good bounce. Set up for the big fella. It does, but he misses, does he?
Yep.
Oh, my goodness gracious.
The goal square, boys.
That's why you would never take a big bloke to war with you, Phil. They'll mess up the simplest things.
Bigger target to aim for the opponents to shoot at. But
wow.
Yep, that's the first chance. I mean, it's not the kind of game where either side has to make every chance count, but Goodwood Saints will take something out of the clearance work. Maybe. Pitt does the full 360. Kick is loose at the 50-metre arc. Princes have some numbers. Towards Bartlett, who's still not warm enough for him to shed the long sleeve. He kicks into space. Bounce is pretty critical. Oh, it favours Hurd. Here's the run of Larson. An open goal beckoning, and he's missed absolutely everything. The only little bright spark is it's going to be a throw-in inside forward 50.
Just quickly, Sean and Phil, the pressure at ground level is unbelievable at the moment, so hence the mistakes early.
Yeah, as a left footer, he really just needed to let that kick go at the left post. And he tried to dribble it, and, well, he got a poor result as a result. Carter lays it down. He's gone forward for Prince Alfred. Goodwood Saints in best position, but I think we'll get a ball up. A little bit of byplay between Serene and Tommy Bartlett there. No love lost, perhaps. And Mason Ellis looks like he's got the job on Trengo. That's no real surprise. The surprise will be whether he can keep with him all day. Now we come to the wing for Goodwood Saints. They lay the ball back to Tom Anderson. He goes around the corner. Burgess is in good position here. So is Heitman. Can't take it. But Slate comes. Give the ball, son. He takes too long to get rid of it. Finally does the Clark. Now they go in the direction of Rana. Oh, he needs a good bounce. Benny Holzbauer, he doesn't get it. Interestingly, I'm not sure where he's playing today, Ben. Last week he started with a defensive role on Cooper Gaffney, so as a forward. Today looks like he's going through the midfield, but another wasted opportunity for mine for Goodwood Saints. Ball now on the far side of the ground. Umpire lets it go. Goodwood Saints, much better start from them today, I've got to tell you. There's big Tommy Carter. They're at it, Goodwood Saints. They're just their polish going forward has hurt them a couple of times. Good start to the game too by Tommy Anderson.
Yep, third decent touch. The last two he's made count. Let's see what he does with this one. Goes sideways to Louis Whitelock. So some of the... Goodwood Saints aren't lacking for big game experience.
Well, your brother go to brother, mate. Always look after your brother.
Yeah. This is Heitman from the Goodwood Saints Junior. Through the hot spot. Jolly with the ground level pickup. So inside 50 count has favoured Goodwood Saints, and they butchered one very good opportunity. Bring it off the half-back flank to Oscar Clark.
Forward pressure really, really poor by Goodwood Saints there, Phil.
There's been some forward 50 entries that have come back very quickly, haven't they?
Just to go to the defensive effort by some of the forwards there was poor.
Hugo Kelly, who had quite a presence a couple of weeks ago against St. Peter's, gets it to Bartlett, who runs front on into Tommy Carter. There's only going to be one result when you do that.
I'll tell you what he did though, Phil. When he came at the footy, he took it clean as a whistle, didn't he? That's what you can't...
He's still got the skills.
Yeah,
He's as silky as.
There's not too many players on this ground who could do what he just did at pace, take that ball that cleanly. Yep, ball the tackle, holding the ball, no worries. But good signs early, Tommy Bartlett.
Reece Slate got the hand pass. Dalewood. He's having a big impact early.
Well, who's competing against him then? You've got
Jacob Hughes is giving away a fair bit of height.
Angus Runner there, now chasing down. They need to get that structure right, Goodwood Saints.
Hurd provides a target, tries to centre it. Bounce critical. No, too good. Good on this occasion. Levi Elms coming into the side to solidify that defence a bit. Kick not that great though, Jacko. Chance for Princes to rebound. The turnover count at the moment, to be honest, would be pretty high. Certainly higher than both coaches would like at the moment.
Well, given that both teams are really working extremely hard, there is a lot of space on this ground when you get it coming out of defence, and it's the inability of both sides at this stage to hit that kick. But now we have a chance for Prince Alfred coming inside their forward 50. Go around the corner, top of the square, looking for Wicks. He can't take it. Charging at it. Now they come. That was big Hugo Kelly, wasn't it? Yes. Yep. But again, not good enough to maintain the footy. First time I've seen Finn Hurd play too, Phil. He's a big lump of a lad, isn't he?
He was very impressive against St. Peter's when we covered Princes in the elimination final a couple of weeks ago. Had a couple of real clutch kicks at key moments that he put through the big white ones.
Bit of a word around that his brother, an outside chance to get AFL listed. So it'll be interesting to see whether that goes. But once again, look at the space here they've got to work with. So this is Reece Slate. He got a half an hour to decide what he's going to do with it, because neither. In the end, he goes to Benny Holzbauer. The Prince Alfred player screams that it was out in the fall, but the boundary umpire's in really good position. So no argument there. He waits sensibly Holzbauer for someone to push across and ends up with a beautiful kick to Mason Ellis, who, as I mentioned, looks like he's got the job on Trengove. Good luck, son. And speaking of, Trengove smothers the ball, or ends up with it. Which one? Not sure. And Mitch Wicks now has it.
Kick inside towards the 50-metre arc has found the target. This is Oscar Clark. The high kick. Bartlett lurks. Thumb from behind, though, by Serene. It was just too high to give Bartlett much of a chance at it. But right now, Goodwood Saints have struck and clear it off half-back. Here comes Princes again.
Well, have a look. Trengove still running. That's him there now. Look where Mason Ellis is. 30 metres behind, inside the corridor.
Not able to keep
up. He can't run.
Kick to the hot spot. Carter at the front. Who's at the back? Is that Hurd with a clunk? No, says the umpire. Hurd then comes in and lays the tackle. And we'll have a stoppage. So, quite interesting, Jacko. 10.5 minutes gone on a beautiful day. One behind on the scoreboard so far.
Yeah. Look, I'm not having a go at Mason Ellis here because Trengove's the fittest player in the competition. And to run with him is going to be a monumental achievement. But I would think that maybe Luke needs to start considering running two blokes.
Yeah, well, I think they had Ollie Johnson with Hayden Jolly. Unless Jolly's gone off, Johnson's gone off, so that might be their tactic.
Here's Jolly now, and he's going to have a shot on goal. No, he ends up passing it towards Bartlett. If he can keep it in, he does. I think it went to Oscar Clark, who fed it backwards. Good tackle from Hurd, and the umpire will restart the play. Now, this is where, when you've got the ball inside your forward 50 like Prince Alfred do, this is where you need to start playing a forward half game. That means pushing all your players up and holding the ball in your 50 till you can get a score. Neither side has been good at that until this stage, because we've played, 11 and a half minutes and we've got 1 point on the board. So the ball's slingshotting.
It's been in Prince's half of the field for the probably last 3.5, 4 minutes.
Yep.
Just haven't had a shot.
Well, it's about how you set up behind the play now. Yeah. So if we look behind the play, we can see Prince Alfred, pretty good zone defence now taking effect. Mitch Tealy,
two loose players.
Neil, yep. So Goodwood Saints more players around the contest here, but Prince Alfred have stacked it behind the footy. Let's see who wins.
Well, free kick.
And it's a free kick to Trengove against Ellis, by the looks of it, is it?
Yeah, giving it away to one of the most experienced players on the paddock.
Yeah, actually, I don't think it's Ellis. I just can't quite see who it is. It might be Heitman. Ellis is actually heading towards the interchange bench now for a well-needed break, as is Louis Whitelock. And Scott Blessing makes his way back onto the ground. So it'll be interesting to see what they do with Trengove. See what they do with him now, because he's having a shot on goal, Phil.
Well, umpire barely has to move. Trengove, his 12th goal of the season, and we finally have a major to celebrate. Prince Alfred break the drought. They are 1 straight 6. Goodwood Saints 1 behind on our Sportal scoreboard. You've got a sporting club and you need a scoreboard upgrade. Sportal is definitely worth it.
Phil and Jacko, just quick, plenty of rotations on the bench at the moment. Plenty of rotations.
Yeah, how's the breeze down there, Lambo?
Yeah, it's still about the same, Jack. Yep. I reckon it's worth still 2 to 3 goals, mate. But we need a winning forward today. That's going to be the difference at the end of the game. A couple of winning forwards.
So a bit of a change now. Carter going forward, being matched up by Will Doward. Arana into the ruck, changing the ruck for PAC2. It looks like Siebels has gone in there. Now they come forward through Pitt. The Goodwood Saints are quick to get the ball back though, and look at the mobility of the big fella. He is killing them at the moment for Prince Alfred, Will Doward. Another opportunity here for Goodwood Saints. Carter was in good position. I reckon that Scaro's end up marking the footy though. It is. Now he's turned his back on the play. He's going to be kicking from 45, 46 metres. So
he better kick it.
This will give us a good indication of what the breeze is like. So if it's as strong as what Lambo says, he struggles to make the distance from here.
11 goals for the season. Played 17 of the 21 games.
Generally a good kick, Anthony Scara. So yeah, from 48 metres, he makes the distance pretty easily. So I might get Lambo to re-look at that wind again for us at quarter time.
I'll do that, mate.
So Princes by 4 points at the moment, 14 minutes gone.
of the first quarter. Buddy Bet Division 1. Grand final day around most of the Adelaide Footy League. Hayden Jolly with a long penetrating kick. And that's a free kick, I think, picked up by Siebels. He goes to the run of Mackenzie Slee, another key defender. I mean, look, Dawood, Slee and Curran together. That's a pretty mighty defence.
Yeah, I'm just watching Kyle Kirk for Goodwood Saints trying to run with Trengove now, so it looks like they are sharing it around a little bit. But watch this. Trengove now got forward of the contest, got 10 metres space. Kyle Kirk's got to be careful that if you give him the job to run with Trengove, he's the danger player. You need to sit on him.
Yeah, then there was a disputed football, which he said, football, went after it and
correct,
gave Trengove plenty of space. So that's your dilemma when you tag. You don't often have to play the ball, you do have to play the man. Jolly's kick inside 50, only as far as Serene. He's got a visionary kick. Now the Saints are in space on the grandstand side. Waste no time with the kick. Looked poorly directed, but it just got over the top of the Prince's defender. Here comes the Goodwood Cavalry with a tackle, holding the ball, and this could be a shot on goal. I thought for a second, don't tell me they've blown an inside 50 again. Kick just enough carry, that created the contest.
Well,
Lauby with the tackle and the shot.
Jacob Hyton needed to go down the line. That's twice they've brought the ball this wing and cut it in too early. Lucky to get away with that one, Phil, but sometimes you need a little bit of luck.
Yeah. Lauby will kick pretty much just inside the 50-metre arc. Saints looking for their first goal, trailing by 4 points. Distance looks to be no problem. Accuracy's pretty good as well. The Goodwood Saints are on the goal scoring board with their first. Lauby's 22nd of the season. They are 1-2-8. Back in front by 2 points, Prince Alfred Old Collegians.
Jacko and Phil, just a little bit from Goodwood Saints. They've ticked a few boxes. This time last week, they were 4 goals down. They had a shocking start. They're around the mark at the moment, and they just, at ground level, they're winning a lot of ball too, just right at the moment.
Well, they're not only around the mark, they're actually in front into a 2 to 3 goal breeze, Craig. Both shots we've seen from Goodwood Saints have made the distance into that breeze, and Lauby's was on 50. Rana goes at this one in the ruck, does it nicely. Probably get it back here, he does. Can he hit this kick? That's the important kick. Goes to Lauby. Does well to beat one. Wheels around. Now he spots Anderson, I think it is. Can't just mark it in the end, but in good position, Jacob Hughes. Almost feel like that was almost a wasted opportunity there.
Well, look, you still got to love the work of Lauby, though,
yeah,
to wheel around, and it looked like it was a very great visionary kick to the player running inside 50. Just missed the target, maybe by no more than a metre. Needed to be in front of the running player, not behind them.
Yep, so watch this boundary throw. What Dawood's going to do is come over the second jumper here. He does, but he gets bumped out the way by Hughes, which was good play. Hoytland sees it out of bounds. We'll get another restart. So it's a free kick, in fact, which is going to go the way of
Chris Curran.
Chris Curran, is it? Yep. He's had a particularly good year, first year in the Adelaide Footy League. Of course, we know he was captain of Glenelg's premiership side in 2018. Yeah. So we suspect he should be a good player at this level.
He certainly has. As I said, they really solidified. It is the Prince Alfred strength, second best defence in the comp by the Hind Port District. Speaking of which, there he is there. So if it's not Dawood, it's Curran. If it's not Curran, it'll be Mackenzie Slee.
Or Pitt.
Or Pitt. Well, what it does, though, Jack, it frees up Craig Pitt to maybe, on occasions, if we give everybody a wrap, this could be a very bad turnover. Favretto, the medalist, has it. He's taken high. Umpire didn't see it. Or maybe said he ducked the head. Larson, that's a tackle. That's all she wrote.
Lauby again.
Lauby, another one.
He's on fire.
He's a tackling machine inside that.
Why wouldn't you have a shot,
50?
son? You kicked the last one from exactly that spot. Oh dear, oh dear.
Yeah.
Oh, and then pushed in the back. He's given it away. That's
silly.
McNamara, the captain of the team, and he's given away a free kick. Yeah, you've got nothing to argue about, Lockie. You just can't push a bloke in the back off the ball like that.
Yeah, in front of the umpire.
Sean and Phil, just in that area there, that's where a bit of leadership's got to come into it.
Well, he is the leader.
No, from number 51 there, from Goodwood Saints. Someone just go, let's just settle down, there's no rush.
Oh, for Sam Lauby, yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
Sorry, Jack, that's what I meant, mate.
Yeah, no, gotcha. Well, speaking of leaders, mate, Jacob Hughes is the joint captain for Goodwood Saints, and he's had a lot of knee issues this year. I believe he's facing a reconstruction, but boy, oh boy, have a look at that kick. Goodwood Saints, I'll tell you what, we said this in the intro, Phil, write them off at your peril.
Which we all did, except Lambo.
Except the great Lambo.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that said, this is how how Goodwood started against Princes and their game at Goodwood, so long way to go, but
good signs, good early signs.
The Saints are doing what they had to do, and that is respond to a pretty dismal effort last week. And they're going to give Prince Alfred something to chase, given we think that Princes this quarter have the advantage of a couple of goals breeze. Time on. Probably won't be a huge amount of time on with just the 3 goals kicked. Every time I say that, it goes for 29 minutes. We'll find out. Kneeled in the ruck with Carter. Tap goes Goodwood's way. They will work it through a couple of hands. Johnson with the clearing kick to the 50-metre arc. Carter, the goal scorer, couldn't get a hand to it. Princes have some numbers. Now they're tackled.
It's holding the ball.
Another hold on the ball.
Wow-wee.
Well, Sean, just in field that, he brought the ball straight in, straight away.
Yep,
he didn't want to get rid of it.
That's against Chris Curran now.
It's Hughes again.
Yeah, now he probably instinctively should know better than that, given he's coming out of the SANFL system where that would have been holding the ball all day, every day.
Yeah.
In our league, probably hasn't been up until this year. So either way, no excuse. It's holding the ball, and Jacob Hughes has a go at it.
You can always tell when a team's on song when their forwards are making tackles like this. Will they be rewarded? That one is a poor shot, low and wayward, but it increases the lead on the Sportal scoreboard. Goodwood Saints 2-4-16. That's 6 scoring shots. Prince's just the 1 scoring shot, but for the maximum points on 6.
So Perryman kicked it out to McNamara, looking to redeem himself after giving away that free kick. Now they have it. Prince Alfred with a little bit of space. Bartlett's over the back if he can get it to him. Decides not to. Goes shorter. They run it on. Is that Larson? I think it is, Phil.
Might be Wildman.
Wildman, is it? No, it's Larson. Mitch Larson. He learnt from his first kick, although he did keep that one low again.
Sensational work rate.
Was a good
player today, Phil.
Yeah, well, if we had one, I'd think about it, but no player today.
No, the player today.
We might have a Violet Cromwell for that one, but
quick trip to the canteen to get a prize from.
A real test for Lambo today, of course, will be how is he organising us food and drinks up here, given that we're at a neutral
I've done
venue.
my utmost, Jack. I can't do it all the...
So you look at the work rate here. He has taken off the centre wing. He's taken 2 bounces. He'd be pretty stuffed, and he just keeps running. Thank you very much. You're spot on, Jacko.
I thought he overplayed it. He had Bartlett out the back with a nice weighted kick. He could have hit him up, but gave it to Mitch Wicks, and he gave it back to him, and a terrific finish.
Good steady out for Princes against the run of play in recent times. Carter has an airy. Jolly Johnson comes in to clean it up and send it inside. So Goodwood Saints for Minor winning the clearances at the moment.
Yeah.
Loose ball inside the forward 50 arc. He's Lauby. He's the X-Machine, X-Factor at the moment to the bouncing top of the square. Curran wasted no time to get rid of it on that occasion. Hand pass to Pitt. Hand pass back to Waldman. Set the former Sturt player, I think, Campbell Waldman. A little bit of a task. Was it the Magpies, or maybe both?
Well, I reckon I said about 10 minutes ago that the Goodwood Saints forward line pressure wasn't good enough, Phil, and it was coming out too easily.
I heard you.
Yeah, it is ramped up, hasn't it? It's a much...
5 minutes especially.
Yeah, they're forward. And now, look, well, they've got a forward half game here. Good protection behind the ball. Good opportunity to get another score on the board. Let's see how they go. Hughes goes at it. Prince Alfred first on it. They rush the ball quickly. Should be set up good enough here, Goodwood Saints, but unfortunately Larson gets it again for Prince Alfred. Have a look at that's the kick he had available to him last time. Uses it this time to Tommy Bartlett. Have a look. That's why they brought him into the side. But
the league cutter, Phil and Sean. Can you believe that?
Well, we know he's a good golfer, Tommy Bartlett, but I didn't know he was a good spin bowler. Unlucky.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's 2 goals that they've... Well, 2... shots that they've just, with a lot of run and a lot of dash, exciting stuff.
This game's got everything, boys.
And it shows how much space this oval can have.
Free kick.
You wouldn't have that much space to run at Goodwood Oval, you would think, as Tommy Carter will get the free kick.
So you mentioned, Phil, that Goodwood Saints are around the ball much better than they were last week. And that's the sign of a proud football club and proud players. They knew they had to redeem themselves. So I mentioned that before the game. Interesting to see how they come out. Well, they've come out firing. Prince Alfred need to clean themselves up, clean their act up a little bit. Larson charges the ball, aims for Wicks. He's been cleaned up by the Louis Whitelock. In fact, Louis Whitelock wins a free kick. His mother-in-law and father-in-law couldn't be bothered coming down to watch this game today. Thought Goodwood Saints were no chance, Phil.
Okay.
Not petrol?
Well,
no, he's cleaning my yard down at Normanville, Levo.
No doubt once they heard that you were on the mic and they could watch it live thanks to filming footy.
Well, that's probably it. Reece Slape now comes straight up the guts. It's the one bloke you want to keep away from when you go forward, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, you can't miss him. He's got the high socks and the bald head. He does stand out a fair bit. You think he'd be able to work it out.
Yeah.
That kick wild and wayward. It's not going to come back because this is the Adelaide Footy.
Phil and Sean, that's one thing that Luke Donaldson will address at quarter time is kicking into the forward line.
Yeah, he should. He needs to talk about the dominance of Will Doward and trying to steer away from him, try and draw him out. But look, he's an experienced player, Will Doward. He won't get Will Clark's on him now, but he's not going to get sucked into going out of the play. He just play his game, and then it puts the onus on you as a side to be good enough to take the ball in and not towards him.
Probably unlike a couple of his teammates, he would know this oval pretty well. He would have come here and played every year when he was with North Adelaide and Norwood.
Yeah.
So there's your scoreboard. Scoreboard, 26 minutes gone. Goodwood Saints, 2 points.
All healthy on the interchange benches too, boys. All good.
Good to hear. Don't really want this game decided based on injury because it's a crackerjack matchup. Low scoring at first and the goal started coming late. Both teams had their moments, Jacko, but at the end of the day, it's Goodwood by 2 points. A good sign that after a poor effort last week, the Saints have come to play.
Another thing I like early, Phil, is Luke Donaldson is giving Carter a bit of a spell, so he's not played. Traditionally, we've seen him play 95% of the game in the ruck. Already, I've seen Rana have 2 stints in the ruck, so maybe he's aware that their burnout factor it could be a concern, but they need him still firing towards the end of the game.
Alrighty, Goodwood Saints 2-3-15, Prince Alfred Old Collegians 2-1-13. We'll take a break. This is the Adelaide Footy League, thanks to Filming Footy.
G'day guys, the Simon Black Academy is all about education and sport. Our partner in education is Torrens University, where our students either do a 1-year diploma course or a 3-year Bachelor of Business. Around that we run a football and athletic program based here at Norwood Oval, and it's all about trying to develop and take our students' game to a new level. Around that also, our third pillar, besides education and football, is personal development. If you want to get involved, check out our website, which is simonblack.com.au.
Well folks, we're down here at the Banner Crew. Our friend, supporter and sponsor of Between the Posts has joined us. Welcome Jason Goods.
Thanks Tony, nice to be with you.
What can the people out there expect to buy from the Banner Crew and get looked after?
Pretty much anything that you can put your club logo on or a message from the club, whether it be like you mentioned, a marquee or a flag or an A-frame or a banner, a stubby holder, a pen, anything like that, anything that you can pop the club branding on. Everything's customisable, so basically we've got an in-house design department with 2 graphic designers that can work toward getting the message across that you're after.
We're down here at 318 to 326 St Vincent Street, Port Adelaide. Jason, thank you so much for your support.
Yep, they're entering their forward line. They've got to improve on. Also, around the ball, they were just a little bit more quickness, but compared to last week, Goodwood Saints are playing some great footy. They are a big believer on those little things, and are doing that really well. Prince Alfred, well, they're not happy with their contested football at the moment, and they're wasting some opportunities up forward. That needs to be addressed. But you know what, guys? It's still anybody's game, and everybody is playing some bloody great football from both sides. So I'm still predicting Goodwood Saints. We're in for a crackerjack second quarter. The breeze, Sean, has still held its own. It's still worth 2 to 3 goals. Back to you, boys. All the best.
Okay, I just noticed Tommy Lynch walking off there for Goodwood Saints. They'd love to have him in the side. I think he's maybe right to come back if they make the grand final. So that's one noticeable absentee I can see from the Goodwood Saints lineup for Prince Alfred. I'm not sure of any that are actually missing today, Phil. Mentioned Cam Giles, obviously,
yeah.
but...
I said same side each week of the final so far, so they've got their settled 21. Their Bs have been long since out of action, so if they do bring anyone in, it's going to be from the cold. Just to let you know that it is Goodwood Saints and Prince Alfred in the C1 grand final next week. St Peter's and Old Ignatians in the B grand final. Obviously, Port District in the winner of this one as we clear the final stragglers from this oval. Second quarter underway. Prince Alfred going to left of your screens. You're with Sean Jackson.
So, nice throw up to get us underway. Big Carter slaps it forward, as he tends to do in the direction of Lauby. Couldn't take it, but Favretto could. Hacks it forward quickly. Guess who's coming at it? Bounces poorly for him, though, and Goodwood Saints end up with a footy. Favretto handballs it inboard. Now McNamara from Prince Alfred. Although in the way, Holzbauer. I think he was looking for Craig Pitt. The coach couldn't get him. Holzbauer has it. Turns around. 1-on-3. Lauby. What a contest from the young fella. Did it beautifully in the first quarter. Did it beautifully again. Kept the ball alive. In the end, they've given away a free kick. What have been Kyle Kirk give that free kick away. And that just took a bit of pressure off of Prince Alfred, and they'll get a chance to reset.
So they go to the outer side, and as much as he almost convinced the umpire, he managed to keep that in.
Jacko and Phil, just quick, Craig Pitt, has he had many touches? He's been very quiet.
Yeah, haven't seen a lot of Pity, to be honest with you. It looks like he's playing a little bit on the ball and perhaps back as well. So I'll keep an eye on that for you, Lambo.
Thanks, mate.
Okay, so on the outer side, binocular country at the moment. Goodwood Saints win the one-on-one battle. Curran is first there. The one thing I have noticed today is that whatever ball they're using, it hasn't been a particularly agreeable one. It's had a bit of a habit of bouncing away, bouncing low, not really bouncing true, which is really weird because Richmond is a hard ground. And it's usually pretty good with the bounce of the ball. Kick towards the hot spot. Kirk just charges right through the middle of the pack. Wins the footy. Love the attack on the ball. Unfortunately, more times than not, Jacko, you're going to get caught with it.
Yeah, they've been consistent so far with that holding the ball rule. You don't get rid of it. You are pinged, and Larson has it now just inside the back 50 for Prince Alfred. Goes looking for the coach, Pity. That's a good way to get selected week in, week out. He's taken a good mark. Under a bit of heat from Mason Ellis there, who started on Trengove again, so interesting to see how that one plays out. Ollie Johnson trying to cover him now. Pitt goes long down the line. Neil has a crack at it. Follows his work up beautifully. Now they're alive. Prince Alfred, Campbell Wildman. Can't get much purchase on that kick, however. Follows his work up nicely. Well tackled. That's something we didn't see last week. Two Goodwood Saints players, Reece Slate and Jack Luders, tackling the one player. Luders with the job, of course, on Finn Hurd. Yes, Lambo?
Yes, at ground level, Goodwood Saints all over him at the moment, Jack. Just at ground level, mate.
Yeah, good pressure. And that's a good quick kick by Jolly. McNamara's in good position. Ellis good enough to get it to Favretto. He comes with a little bit of length now. Good voice there by Chris Curran for Prince Alfred. Sees him take an uncontested mark. Now goes into the corridor. Oh, the skipper, Benny Holzbauer. Come and attack that with some real vision, real vigour. Goes short now to Tom Anderson, who started the game particularly well.
Nick Burgess is one we haven't seen a lot of as yet. Just thinking of some quiet players that usually stand up.
Yep, Louis Whitelock now. Trapped inside the back pocket. Goes towards Lowby. They're happy to go to the little kid, aren't they? and let him jump at the footy because he's competing against some real height there. Larson gets it on the boot quickly. This spells danger for Goodwood Saints. Hurd, beautiful handball to Tommy Bartlett. I think he's the master. He's as good as anyone is in this competition of being able to get out the back free, Tommy Bartlett. The only one that I can think of that perhaps challenges him was Strato Agarastas from Paynham. Remember old Strato? He's no longer there, of course. But
and neither are Paynham.
and neither are Paynham.
And look, if you were giving goals on who deserved it more, you'd give that to Finn Hurd, which was a great contested hand pass to the running Bartlett. But yes, as soon as Bartlett realised that Hurd was going to win the ball, he was creating separation, and well done. A good goal to Prince's, back in front by 4 points. Battling through it in the middle in the T-saucer at the moment. Spills to Hausbauer. He's set upon straight away.
That first fumble, Phil, that's the one that Bartlett takes.
It's got to be clean, unfortunately.
That's the difference today, boy. What team's going to be cleaner throughout the main course of the game?
Speaking of cleaner, Lambo, Tommy Bartlett, the only player out there with a long Guernsey on today. What's that about?
I can't answer that, Sean, but I know he had a shade.
Right, good. Being matched up, of course, by
Serene. You don't need to look
now.
at a number, don't need to look at the hairstyle, don't need to look at the boots. You just know that's Tommy Bartlett running them back.
Yep, so Tom Anderson, he's had plenty of the ball, probably be as good a Goodwood Saints player as there is, has the ball now in the middle. Goes to Anthony Scara, he can't take it. Ellis is in good position though, gets the ball to boot quickly. Good tackle by Perryman. This will be an interesting decision. That's a good decision by the umpire. Could easily have been sucked into giving it, holding the ball against Kyle Kirk, but didn't have a lot of time to get rid of it.
Look, I'm a big fan of reward the bloke going for the ball.
Yeah.
This sudden death, no time, I'm not a big fan of. That kick really was off the side of the boot, almost off the knee, out of bounds. It wasn't.
Trying to get another kick, I think, there, Phil.
Yeah. So it's going to be a throw-in. We've had the one goal in, 6 minutes in, just the one goal scored this quarter.
What I'm loving about this footy, boys, it's one-on-one footy. There's no spares back, there's no playing off your man. It has generally been solid one-on-one footy, and you want to beat me? Well, you got to come at me.
Yeah, and there is the threat that one decent long penetrating kick can throw it well into open space. All these players are really in 1/3 of the oval at the moment.
Yeah. Jack Carter looks like he's got the job on Hugo Kelly. A little bit of byplay behind the ball. A couple of big units there. Hugo Kelly, he's a monster, but he's being monstered by Jack Carter at the moment.
Let's pick on someone your own size. He probably has.
Yeah, he has indeed. He obviously thinks he can unsettle Kelly a bit because he is giving him nothing. And Wicks has the ball now for PAC. Goes into the corridor. Lovely take by Perryman. Swoops onto his left foot now. Watch this kick. He's one of the best finishers in the competition. Now kicks a helicopter as if on cue. They're good enough. Goodwood Saints now through Hughes. Goes long. Watch out for Dowwood here, folks. Gets the front spot beautifully. Does enough for Craig Pitt to get it back where it came from. Nicely punched. Ellis in good position. Neil for Prince Alfred. He takes it onto the left quickly. There's Hugo Kelly trying to make a statement of his own, but he was up, down, sideways and buried before the ball got anywhere near him, Phil.
He was nowhere near it, was he? He was nowhere near it. Entertaining nevertheless.
Yes, how'd that look from where you sat, Lambo? You had bird's eye view of that one.
Yeah, he said, Lambo, there was 222 cars in the car park.
Yeah.
Out to Hillsborough. He'll go out to the scoreboard, which currently shows the Goodwood Saints trailing by 4 in a pretty close contest. I reckon that might be Kirk. It comes back in for Hillsborough. McNamara was lurking for the phantom intercept. Hillsborough would have held on. Not any particular rush to do anything with the ball at the moment. Now decides to just play the percentage, kick it down the line, down the outer side. Gets past Dowwood on a rare occasion. He didn't hold on to one, albeit he was under a fair bit of pressure. Would have been a good contested mark. Princes are sort of just trying to tap it forward without a lot of success at the moment. Now it's Goodwood Saints a kick into space, only as far as Wildman. He had time to fumble, pick up. And is that Hurd, I reckon?
No, it's not Hurd. No, it's not Hurd.
No, it's Mitchell Teely.
Yep.
Out of side. 2-on-2 contest. In the end, it does spill to Curran. By the boundary. Hooks it back inside 50. Oscar Clark the target. Roaming by the boundary line in front of the new Lose.
Boys, a great contest at the moment is young Luders for Goodwood Saints on Finn. Very good contest at the moment.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's interesting to watch that one unfold. So ball back pocket. Umpire throws it in. Carter versus the big fella from Prince Alfred, Hugo Kelly.
So Neil seems to get the ruck work in the middle when it's up forward.
Hugo Kelly
takes over to give Neil the break.
Yeah. The other one I can see making his way on the interchange bench, looking like he'd come on is Siebel, so he'd probably go into the ruck as well, I would think.
Yep. Spread the load.
Yep. So Carter takes it out the ruck. We've seen him do that 3,000 times this season.
He does it so easily, doesn't he?
Yep. But Neil's behind the footy, as you mentioned, Phil. He gets it on the boot quickly. Bartlett takes it clean. One take again. Reece Lape, though, for Goodwood Saints now gives it off. They go the far side. Not a bad kick in the direction of Rana. He's going to make Dowwood run for this one. Dowwood good enough to close him down, though. But not a bad idea. We mentioned that in the first quarter. Angus Rana needs to back his fitness. Much younger than Will Dowwood.
10 minutes in, Jacko and Phil. Great contested football from both sides at the moment. It's really good from down here.
You wonder whether the bigger ground will have an impact. It already looks like the pace has dropped off a little bit.
Yep, they'll be running on the spot by the time we get to the final quarter.
Yep.
Carter the tap. A double team tackle by Princes. Goodwood somehow still get a clearance out of all of that. Picked up now by Teely for Princes. He'll send it back towards the outer side. Probably not a bad day to have the last disposal rule. What's your thoughts, Jack? I've never actually nailed you on that. Well, should it be introduced to this level?
I think it should, and I think it will be next year, Phil. And unfortunately for the boundary umpire, that big group of Port District supporters have moved on.
Yep.
And luckily there was one man there who was able to get the ball back for him.
No one within 20 metres of him.
Yep. So Carter just lays it down beautifully. Scara just couldn't get connection onto the boot. Players throwing themselves willingly at this. Boy, oh boy, was that Hughes throwing himself at that one. Yep. Prince Alfred now can't take a look at the heat. Got to stand up in the heat if you want to be a good player. Well, clean footy is really important below your knees. Really no one able to take real impact.
It's really good.
Mason Ellis had a chance of getting it out of there, but missed.
It looks like they're not sitting anyone on Trengove full time. Ellis is certainly going to him at the stoppage, but he's not with him full time, and that may.
And as you said, Jacko, everywhere you look, it's one-on-one football, which is fantastic.
Yep.
Let the players sort it out. Not that many is doing that. We're going to have another throw in.
We had a goal this quarter.
One.
Yeah.
By Prince Alfred that put him in front.
We need a forward who's just going to take it on for 4 or 5 minutes, boys.
We need to get it into the forward line. We're playing between the arcs at the moment. Neither side able to get it into the front 50. Set up well. Heitman hits it forward. Free kick for head high there. Umpire says nothing doing. Let it go, and he does. Been impressed with the umpiring so far. Even the boundary umpires are having a marvellous day, Phil. Marvellous.
They're throwing technique you're impressed with. The big wind-up. Here's Heitman. Filing in some clear. Oh, we've got a kick.
That's a free kick against
and
Hughes.
A free kick.
Well spotted by the umpire.
So Princes have it. Defensive end of the centre square. Having just cleared out of the pack, that's Mackenzie Slee who won the kick. Finding a target in Trengove. I think Trengove out there just.
Oh, that's Pitt, is it?
Pitt. I don't think it's Pitt. Nor is it Trengove. It's a long way out there.
Yeah, that's Trengove now, I reckon. Oh,
no, that's Pitt now.
That's Pitt.
Yes, if you don't bring binoculars to this ground, you do come unstuck from time to time.
Yep.
It's been on the outside for a heck of a long time too. I'm not sure if there's a bit of a cross breeze or...
Oh, Jack Carter.
They looks like playing in the sun. Hayden Jolly got a key tap onto Siebels. He got the hand pass on. Here's going to be the shot on goal. McNamara, no, to the top of the square. I thought he'd take a shot, but he kept it in board. I think it's not a bad idea. Bartlett's at the bottom of that pack. Everyone's on top of him. It'll be a ball up. Hayden Jolly, just that deft little touch to set up the running players. Mackenzie Slee comes to the bench. A lot of players around the ball. Saints with the clearance. Big packet of 50. Darwood had it, lost it. Umpire says my ball.
Yeah, good effort there by Angus Rana. He's outnumbered. Good enough to
make a contest.
Yeah, and sometimes that's all you need. You know, when you're competing 1v2, 1v3, sometimes just making contest is good enough. Speaking of someone who does make a contest regularly, Favretto, he gets it beautifully kicked to, well, not so much the kick, but the effort by Lauby to compete in the air against Perryman. Very exciting young player is Sam Lauby.
Love the blue boots too.
Yeah, blue boots, and might get a smaller number next year. That kick goes out towards Serene. He has a bounce, one bounce, two bounces. Where's he going to go now? Ran himself in a bit of trouble. Lauby fumbles that one. Keeps his feet though. That was important for the viewers at home. Now can he hit the kick? Good Lord, Sam Lauby. I gave you a rap and you marked up three things in a row.
Sometimes you realise you just call what's happened without putting any opinion to it, because those opinions usually blow up straight in your face.
Oh dear, oh dear.
You can see the view there from the top of the grandstand here, the Brian Hassey grandstand. It is a magnificent setting here this afternoon. Wouldn't mind too much if the football came just a tad closer every so often. That would be nice. Perryman has it. Not the greatest of handballs to him, but recovered enough. Kick inside 50. No one could grab it. It was intended for Hurd. Reeslape has it. Curran has him. Curran's a long way up if that is him.
Not a massive crowd here today, boys, but about 475, I reckon.
Righto. All paid up.
I don't know. I don't think I paid to get in.
Plenty of numbers around this contest. We got a secondary start. We weren't getting a lot of this in the first quarter, so a bit of an indication the players are getting a little bit more tired, not taking the ball as cleanly as they were.
Well, many a year, Jack, I've called a fantastic first quarter where everything just dries up in the second because the coaches get a chance to see where the accountability is failing. They patch the holes and then nothing happens.
16 minutes in, boys, only one goal scored this quarter.
Yeah.
Very
Sometimes ruin the game, coaches. That's a beautiful hit to Tom Anderson. And a little bit quieter this quarter. Scara he's looking for. Burgess well intercepted by Mitchell Tearley. Though goes back exactly where it came from. Hugo Kelly needed to take that one. It was a nice pickup though. Gets it onto his boot quickly. Oh, and a nice effort by Oscar Clark in the end. Keeps it alive. Goodwood Saints got all the answers though. Blessing. And then Jack Carter missed the handball receive. And as a consequence, missed the stat.
That was exceptionally clever play by Oscar Clark to just handball it forward.
Wasn't it?
And run around two Goodwood Saints defenders. I mean, it's almost a case here, when are Prince Alfred going to score this goal? Because it has not gone Goodwood Saints side of centre for some time.
Well, they're yet to score at all this quarter, Phil.
That looked like
they've scored one goal, Lambo, because they were behind at quarter time. They're up by 4. Goodwood Saints, you're quite correct, have not scored. Yes, okay, we are in agreement. We just didn't know it at the time.
Hard to believe they're actually going with the wind.
Yeah, well, it's not the scoring end.
No. Have to get Lambo perhaps to take the beanie off to check that wind.
I want Lambo to throw some grass up to prove that that's where the breeze is going.
He's going to throw some grass up now. Still, he's going left of screen now, Lambo.
Jeez.
She's changed a little bit, Jack.
Speaking of Lambo, we got an interview with him at half-time. Jim Parkinson will join us with an update for all the Prince Alfred fans.
It's always Jim Parkinson. He hogs the limelight, Jim.
But he knows everything, so he's the best. You want to know what's going on at Prince Alfred Old Collegians, Jim Parkinson knows everything.
Yep.
And then some.
So Reeslape, Goodwood Saints, goes towards the boundary line. Not the greatest kick and not the greatest effort either by Serene. Got to be a bit stronger than that.
No talk.
He wants to have a shot.
So Finn Hurd,
He wants to have a shot.
he has shut down. He is having a shot. He's putting the ball on the ground.
Over to the spectators.
Not sure what that's about,
I can't
putting the ball
even
on the ground.
think of where I should tell him to aim for here. Maybe the left behind post.
Left their goalpost hard, mate.
Left hand, so we've got a bit of left to right breeze.
That's it.
If that's the case. Let's see how he goes. Kicking right on 50. Not bad purchase on the kick, but not great accuracy. And the ball trickles out of bounds.
Not quite your issue of kicking it to the goal line and being thumped through. At least this creates the stoppage very close to goal, a snapping opportunity.
Well, correct. What he didn't do, he didn't not get the goal because he couldn't get the length. He didn't get the goal because he didn't have the accuracy.
Yeah.
Two different things. Goodwood Saints now a chance to come out the back half. Laube running at it. Covering a fair bit of ground is Sam Laube. And
every single player is in the northern half of the field by a fair way, I might add.
yeah.
Although Rana is taking Darwood back to
Well, this is
the
what I'd
Goodwood
like
Saints
to see
goal.
Angus Rana do. I'd like to see him go
Yeah.
all the way to the goal square. Try and take Darwood out of the play altogether and leave Burgess to compete. Burgess and this bloke here, we haven't seen enough of, Will Clark.
Great theory. Rana now with the lead. And there he is. He gets about 4 or 5 metres gap but separation between him and Darwood.
Well, that's much better from Angus Rana, and have a look at him now, starting to head back there as well. That's where his starting point needs to be, much deeper.
Throwing. True centre wing. 5-point footy game. We're into time on of the second quarter and a 1-goal period so far. Siebels took on Ellis. Ball spills free.
So over the top to Jolly. Tries to milk a free kick. Good enough to get the handball out. Still alive here. They got some numbers, Prince Alfred. Dribble kick goes through to Trengove, I think, or Pitt. Can't work out which one. Trengove. Carter in good position. Jack variety. Slate, Reese variety. Comes this side. Got Anderson if he wants to use him. Concedes the point in the end. Should play on here.
I'm not sure he should have done that.
Nah, you got Tom Anderson here. Free. Got 30 metres on Craig Pitt. He's ended up going, maybe it's the breeze is the reason he's going down that side, but he's going straight to Darwood. Now, he'll be the last player I'll be kicking the ball towards.
I don't know that you should ever really
Have a look at
willfully concede a score to the opposition.
Have a look at Holzbauer coming off the ground. He is
Unless-
spent. This big ground is going to sort
Spot
of
on,
fill him out.
Sean. Yep, they all look tired. Even on the bench, mate, they're coming off. They are gasping.
Okay. Long season.
Levi Elms back on the ground for Goodwood Saints. Good to see.
All these teams have played every week in recent times.
One bloke I haven't seen on the bench is Trengove. Lambo, is it Trengove?
I don't think that's part of his contract, Jack. He stays
doesn't
out
come
there,
off.
Jack. I don't think he comes off, matey.
Righto.
He has to give some money back if he needs to be interchanged. All right. Let's see if something incredible can happen before half-time. 22 minutes gone.
A quarter devoid of highlights, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Phil.
Yeah, glad we don't have a prize for the play of the quarter.
Yes.
Neil got rid of Carter, got the thap, only went as far as Serene. Now Jolly, he's got some space. That means danger. Looks for her. Great work from behind, though, by
Young
Jack
Luders is doing a
Luders.
great job, boys.
Young lad coming into the squad, Jackie Luders. Made his debut back in round 11 against Paynham.
Son of the legendary Roger.
Yeah, he can't be happy.
I was
Roger
about to say,
having
but he's a defender.
That's what I'm saying. He can't be happy, Roger, having a son as a defender.
I mean, admittedly, if Roger had sons, they'd play against one-on-one. One would be the attacker, one would be the defender. But yeah, that takes a bit of... I mean, good to see a Luders running around the Richmond Oval again, for sure and certain.
Absolutely. 23 minutes gone. Not a lot happening this quarter, folks.
No.
Prince Alfred now through Trengove. On the boot quickly. I want to take the mark. Both defences on top, it's fair to say. And it's a terrific one take and charge from the Goodwood Saints players. It's Scott Blessing. No, it's Favretto, I think.
Favretto's got the free. So he's run through Rich Larson saying, what do I got to do? Favretto's run through him.
So now he
Unless
comes
he's
to
giving away
Slate.
the free.
He's got to play a free, Serene. He's also equally got Jack Carter. Get it on, son. They're just taken a little bit too long to get the ball moving this quarter, Goodwood Saints. And look at that kick after all that.
Well,
Good
he's
effort.
saved by the effort of Levi Elms, who beat defenders and gives actually Goodwood a chance here.
Two out
I
here.
thought they were one-on-one battle. It's actually two Saints players. Ollie Johnson to take the mark at 50. Mackenzie Slee gets back to stop that loose player, to man him up.
Good kick.
Nice kick, good lead, and we're going to see Goodwood Saints with their first, I'd almost say their first forward 50, but certainly their first shot on goal in this second quarter.
That was terrific football back here, boys, in the half-back line. That was
Levi Elms, yeah,
fantastic.
So I think it's Will Clark with the ball, and so once again we'll get a bit of a look at the breeze, because he's been kicking from 45, 48 metres. He seems confident enough that he will make the distance. This is his first shot on goal that I can remember for the day. He's played some good footy this year for Goodwood Saints. Will Clark steps inside the 50 and doesn't make the distance. Perryman first there, Jolly second. Ball doesn't spill out. Goodwood Saints, good pressure. Hughes there. Doward throwing himself at it.
Sean and Phil, that was a lazy kick. That was a very lazy kick there.
It almost looked like it was wind affected from his hand to his boot, didn't it? It didn't look like he hit it in a true
drop it properly.
Yeah.
The correct spot on the ball.
Quick purchase on the ball. So
Boyd got a nice hand pass, got the clearance away.
yeah, and he does it well. Although Blessing was a chance to mark that footy, and they could have rebounded it quickly. As it turns out, we'll have a boundary throw-in. And I think the players are just a little bit fatigued, or not a little bit, they're a lot fatigued.
Hanging out for half-time is what they are,
Good quarter by Prince Alfred. Goodwood Saints haven't scored.
Yeah.
Whatever you look at, how you look at it.
Yeah.
Defence wins championships, and low-scoring game suits Prince, as you would think. Here's an open play, but Jolly will be first there. There's the clean pickup. Darwood is run down.
Right on half-time.
Could have been holding the ball then.
He didn't pay the free.
He dropped the ball. He almost dropped it before he was tackled.
To me, that was holding the ball.
Yep.
Spot on.
Well, umpires have made their decision, and that is half-time.
Maybe the siren hit them quicker than it hit us. Understand what I'm saying there?
Sort of. Or the siren sort of. Okay. Whatever it is.
He heard it before us, and therefore the tackle was
in
late.
that quarter, Prince Alfred kicked 1 goal 2. Goodwood Saints kicked 0.0. It is Prince Alfred 3-3-21. Goodwood Saints 2-3-15. Lambo back after the break with a break. I'll try and get some scores around the other grand finals. You're watching the Buddy Bet Division 1 season, the Adelaide Footy League. Thanks to Filming Footy.
G'day guys, the Simon Black Academy is all about education and sport. Our partner in education is Torrens University, where our students either do a 1-year diploma course or a 3-year Bachelor of Business. Around that we run a football and athletic program based here at Norwood Oval, and it's all about trying to develop and take our students' game to a new level. Around that also, our third pillar, besides education and football, is personal development. If you want to get involved, check out our website, which is simonblack.com.au.
Well, folks, we're down here at the Banner Crew. Our friend, supporter and sponsor of Between the Posts has joined us. Welcome, Jason Goods.
Thanks, Tony. Nice to be with you.
What can the people out there expect to buy from the Banner Crew and get looked after?
Pretty much anything that you can put your club logo on, or a message from the club, whether it be, like you mentioned, a marquee or a flag or an A-frame or a banner. a stubby holder, a pen, anything like that, anything that you can pop the club branding on. Everything's customisable. So basically we've got an in-house design department with 2 graphic designers that can work toward getting the message across that you're after.
We're down here at 318 to 326 St Vincent Street, Port Adelaide. Jason, thank you so much for your support.
Half time today in the prelim final. Goodies Saints 2-3, 15 in a Prince Alfred Old Collegians. 3 goals free, 21. They lead by 6 points. I've interviewed this great man a few times this year. The CEO, the president, you name it, of the Prince Alfred Football Club. I've got young Jim Parkinson. How are you, Jim?
Very good, thanks, mate. Very good, Lambo. We've got a game, haven't we?
We have. We just said before we went to air, that second quarter there wasn't much in it, but I guess if Prince Alfred had done a tick the box for that quarter, they kept Goody Saints scoreless. So, big oval, fitness. It's going to be an interesting second half, mate.
It is, Lambo. I reckon we're probably just... I was sitting with a few blokes down there then, and we thought we had opportunity, but they do play. They're playing a very typical Goodwood game where they just plug it down. We've had that for the last few weeks with Glenunga. They did it very, very well at Glenunga. They nearly got us last week. We were hoping, and I think you're probably right, I think the second half it'll open up a bit. We're hoping it will. So we'd like to think that we can capitalise on our fitness then. Hey, they're fit too, gee whiz, and they've got a bit to play for, as we all do, having been belted like they were last week. So, yes, it should be a very, very good second half.
Your defence is playing some really good footy at the moment. So, like any final, you've got to have a winning forward. No team's got a winning forward at the moment, so I need someone to stand up in the second half. He might get 3 kicks, but kick 3 goals, Jim. And then we're talking about it after the game. So whoever that forward could be, Finn, you never know, or you just need somebody to stand up at the moment and be accountable to go to the big party next week, mate.
Mate, it is Lambo, it is stating the obvious. It'll be a Tom Bartlett or a Finn Hurd, or we might get one, a Mitch Larson might sneak in and kick a couple of goals. Barty is looking dangerous. They're all looking dangerous. That's the thing about it. But Goodwood are playing. It's a very good game. It's a very competitive, tight game, as we know. But it's a good game so far.
Anyway, we'll just have a break from the footy at the moment. The club rooms, mate. We spoke about it a few times this year. It's going to be magnificent when it's finished. What's the progress at the moment, mate?
Everything's going really well, Lambo. Everything's going. It came to a bit of a standstill about 4 weeks ago.
You couldn't get a carpenter?
We got a carpenter. No, mate. We don't need carpenters yet. We need some steel. There's a bit of a problem getting the steel to Park 9, but that's only a matter of time. Where everything's. We were a little bit ahead of schedule. They got things started really well. The weather's made things a little bit difficult, but it's more the problem we haven't had steel for a bit now. That'll come hopefully in the next week, and we'll be up and running. The experts tell me that once we get that steel up, it's not going to take long after that.
So are we looking before Christmas for completion, mate?
That's what they're talking about. They're talking about November. It might have drifted out to middle of December now. It would be great for the cricket club to get in there at some stage for the season, but it will be ready for round 1 next year.
Fantastic. I came here early today. I see your C grade got up. Fantastic result.
C grade had a very good win. They're very fortunate. They've got a very, very, very good side. Tom Brinsley's playing there. Carl Siebels, who won the medal and also was the leading goal kicker, he's playing in that side. Ben O'Donoghue, Ryan Tromans. It's someone said to me today it was the A grade from 2 years ago. But they're old blokes who train once a week if they do. A must. Well, they do.
Carl won the medal, did he?
Carl won the medal and also the leading goal. I think he kicked 75 goals. He did actually split his webbing in his hand today, so he might be in doubt for next week's grand final, which which would be a terrible shame. But yeah, no, they've had a terrific season. We'll play Goodwood. We beat Goodwood once and they beat us once in the C1, so we'll have a crack at them at Norwood next week in the first game.
So we coached Cole a little bit at state level. He was a good state footballer in his heyday too, mate.
Yeah, absolutely he was. He was a very, very good footballer. He was a really good footballer. So yeah, no, actually I do want to say something. I think what you blokes do, the Dartfish guys, the telecast of this is, the live stream is fantastic. Tim Hall, who would love to be here, he's on the other side of the world.
Good on you, Timmy. Thanks for just bring back an extra large T-shirt for Jim and I, and don't forget the postcard, mate.
He's playing golf over there, and also a great mate, Greg Fisher, sent me a message yesterday, which was lovely. He's down at Lucendale, and he knew. I know he was going to be watching that while he was at their game today. So thank you to you blokes. You're doing a super job. We love it.
No, we appreciate it. I know Johnny Douglas, the CEO of Dartfish, puts a lot of work into it, and we've got a great team in Adelaide, and you especially, Jim, it's just always great to have a chat. You're open and you give us an opportunity to talk to you about the club and what's happening. So hopefully within an hour, mate, I can have a chat to you after a game, and your verdict, if you could put the big picture, if Prince are going to win, by how much you reckon?
Oh, mate, I you know what? 9 weeks ago we were thinking of relegation. So Lambo, we'd be delighted to make the grand final. It's been an amazing performance the last 9 weeks. I remember I had a beer with David Pittman from Glenunga at the mid-year break, and I said, Pitto, I think we're in a bit of strife. And he said to me, Jim, don't worry, that you're likely to come home 8-1. And he probably knows it a bit more. But anyway, no, it was it's a win by anything would be 1 point would be enough. Might be too good for my heart, but that'll do. Jim, we always love having a chat to you. Thanks for your time today, mate, and all the best for the second half. And again, from Dartfish and Adelaide Footy League, your contribution to the league's been superb, mate, and really thank you very much. Good on you, Lambo. Thank you very much. Thank you.
G'day guys, the Simon Black Academy is all about education and sport. Our partner in education is Torrens University, where our students either do a 1-year diploma course or a 3-year Bachelor of Business. Around that we run a football and athletic program based here at Norwood Oval, and it's all about trying to develop and take our students' game to a new level. Around that also, our third pillar, besides education and football, is personal development. If you want to get involved, check out our website, which is simonblack.com.au.
Well folks, we're down here at the Banner Crew. Our friend, supporter and sponsor of Between the Posts has joined us. Welcome Jason Goods.
Thanks Tony, nice to be with you.
What can the people out there expect to buy from the Banner Crew and get looked after?
Pretty much anything that you can put your club logo on, or a message from the club, whether it be like you mentioned, a marquee or a flag or an A-frame or a banner, a stubby holder, a pen, anything like that, anything that you can pop the club branding on. Everything's customisable, so basically we've got an in-house design department with 2 graphic designers that can work toward getting the message across that you're after.
We're down here at 318 to 326 St Vincent Street, Port Adelaide. Jason, thank you so much for your support.
Welcome back to Hisense Stadium at Richmond half-time. The Buddy Bet Division 1 preliminary final. Goodwood Saints, they led at quarter time by 2 points and then didn't score a single point in the second quarter. Prince Alfred scored 1 goal too, as Jacko checks out some of our sponsors' product. The Villies Donut. What's the rating on the Villies?
Well, the problem I got with the Villies Donut is the chocolate is all stuck to the plastic.
The packaging has taken some of your chocolate away. Bad luck. I think I really got one other live score around. The live score service isn't doing too great at the moment, and that is updated a minute ago. It's 2 points the difference between Broadview and Sacred Heart out of the parade, the Breakthrough Mental Health Foundation Division 2, and it's Sacred Heart 4-3-27, Broadview 3-7-25. Now that would be just before half time, because all the grand finals started about 10 minutes after our game. So we may not have final scores for you by the time we go off here, but you can get them. Check the Sunday Mail tomorrow, the Adelaide Footy League website, Facebook page, and of course the weekly wrap brought to you by CMAX Clinical Research will be out to you pretty early tomorrow, I'm hoping. Our other sponsors, the Banner Crew, Jason and the crew out there, thank them for their matchday sponsorship. Buddy Bet for our pre and post match interviews. The Sportal Scoreboard, Wakefield Sports Clinic with the Interchange Police Credit Union giving us Lambo. Plenty of boundary right across us today. Also a Connell's Meat Central Market, Simon Black Academy. We do have Archie's Footwear with the best player along with the Dartfish Beanie. And the Moseley Bar and Kitchen will be giving it to the best team man. So they're usually in Jacko's wheelhouse to work out. I'll try and sort that out early in the final quarter if we get a clear winner. And I'm not sure at this moment, Jacko, as you really do devour that donut, that we actually will have a clear winner. At this point, it's hard to pick who really is on top. Princes would be happy defensively, but they've hardly put a winning score on the board so far.
Yeah, interesting to see Nick Burgess starting on the interchange bench for Goodwood Saints as well, Phil, after having had a 15-minute break at half-time. It certainly wouldn't be for a rest. So you did mention he'd been a little bit quiet. We hadn't seen him have much impact. Tommy Anderson certainly had a good start to the game for Goodwood Saints. Trengove equally for Prince Alfred was impressive in the first quarter. For consistency over the game, yeah, it's hard to think of anyone who's been outstanding for the 2 quarters. So I've got another hour to think about that, Phil. We're about to start the third quarter. Neil gets to ruck that one by himself. Ollie Johnson grabs it first of all. Now Ellis with the left foot round the corner. In front, good spot to be, was Levi Elms. Had a beautiful bit of play in the second quarter. Gives it back to Ellis, lowers the eyes. Oh dear, Kyle Kirk's just dropped an opportunity there. The breeze is a bit tricky though. It's easy for us sitting in the grandstand, but
you went down and
had a quick look at it at half time and found it very strong breeze pushing, straight across, and I think it'll be cold. I can see why Tommy Bartlett's wearing the long sleeve, Phil.
Yeah, so Princes Goodwood go forward as I get my directions right. Not particularly far. Chris Curran intercepts. So, not a huge sense of urgency. Players are trying to think their way through this game at the moment. Where's John Kennedy? Just don't think, do. As a Pitt picks it up, he's tackled pretty Trengove ground level. Nice hand pass. Even better evasion by Ollie Clark. This is Prince's chances to go forward. Serene with the courageous attempt going with the fly to the ball. McNamara just couldn't get a hand on it. Quickly spills out of the forward 50, only as far as Pitt. No one's getting clear possession for the last 15 seconds. Now they do. Lauby has it. He puts it in some space for Anderson.
Oh dear.
The ball, if I was the players, I might be asking for new footballs at halftime because they're really not bouncing up that much.
Well, mate,
but Favoretto, is that a mark?
That's a terrific mark, actually. Against some pretty serious heat from Craig Pitt.
Yeah, players in your face trying to hold on to the footy.
I'd like to see the Goodwood Saints boys take the game on a little bit more. They finished the game, or finished the half, I should say, the way they've started this quarter, which is very slow movement of the ball. Here's an opportunity for a man who has got a bit of pace. Benny Holzbauer, if he can pick it up, he does. Wheels around, goes one way, then goes back the other. Back to Favretto, picking his stats up now. Nice kick inside forward and taking the ball beautifully out in front of his face was the big fella Angus Rana. And we mentioned the duel between him and Will Dowwood. It's certainly at this stage in favour of Dowwood, but if he can continue to clunk the ball like that, Phil.
Dowwood was right there. Rana just had the stretch in the arms.
So he's laid it up, knew he couldn't make the distance. No one able to get onto that. Players, Levi Elms, I think, appealing for a free kick. Nothing doing. And in the end, that was just an ugly bit of footy, to be brutally honest with you.
We haven't had too many brilliant patches back to back.
I haven't noticed any Port Districts players here watching the game either. No,
there is a group to our left that have a little bit of black and white shading to it, Jacko, in front of probably one of the best viewing points in football. That is the front of the Mound Bar here at Richmond.
Right, so
I reckon that could be the group.
Okay.
All right, now Princes are away on the outer side, but as soon as you start to raise the voice in anticipation, it's another turnover.
Kicking in the forward lines by both sides, boys, from ground level has been pretty average at this stage.
Yeah, the entries have not been good. That's Jack Luders. Penetrating kick down the outer side, where 80% of the transitional play has been today. Very little through the corridor and very little on the grandstand side. It's interesting though, you thought if you came the grandstand side and then headed for goals, you'd have the breeze sort of aiding you.
Yep, I would have thought this was the attacking side of the ground for sure.
Yeah, maybe that's why. Maybe it is go the defensive side where it is going to be harder for anyone if you turn it over. Here's a chance. Oh, spin move.
Levi Elms.
And pass to the player in the scoreboard pocket. High kick has a chance for lots of coverage to get there. Lauby didn't mark it, dragged it in. That's got to be holding the... Okay. Jacko, the longer I watch this game, the less I know what's holding the ball and what isn't. I'm sure I saw an arm drag that in.
It did look like he dragged it in, Phil. Anyway, they've restarted the play. Pitt's given it. Now it ends up with Trengove. Nice handball to McNamara. Back to Trengove on the left. Down the line, and that breeze has pushed that one out on the full.
Don't see that too often.
No. Jack Trengove had a fair game to this stage. It's had different stages contended with a run with player, but it's Reece Slape with the ball now. It was good to see him running freely. Looked a little bit troubled last week, so he's recovered okay. Carter was there. Just go back in the end with the play, and Chris Curran came over at the top of him and took a beautiful mark. He's at least attempted to play on quickly, as has Sam Buckham. Yes, Buckham, I said, folks. He goes towards Bartlett. Bartlett ends up with the ball quickly onto the boot. Much prefer this bit of play. McNamara, ball, can it sit up for him? I think it will. Oh, he's well tackled though, and shaking off the tackle, and ends up hooking it over his left shoulder. Was number 24, Ollie Clark. Well, it looked like they'd butchered it, but they recovered nicely, Prince Alfred, to kick the first goal of the game. The first goal of the half.
It feels like it.
Yes. 6 minutes into the first.
Yeah, and that's
first quarter.
Two unanswered goals.
But that all started on the back of Chris Curran taking a terrific mark back here and playing on quickly.
Yeah.
Let's have a look at the replay. That's Bartlett over the top. McNamara pushes it on cleverly. Ollie Clark, watch his snap over the shoulder. That's not a bad effort over the top of Reece Slape.
There were 3 Goodwood defenders, 2 Prince Alfred attackers.
Yep.
And they were still able to get just enough separation to get the snap.
Well, if you get it in there quick enough, you're a chance to have some space, and that's what Goodwood Saints haven't been doing. Now, Levi Elms
panic when that happens.
Yep. Watch the pace of Lauby get to this contest. Nicely defended, however, by Slee. Goes to McNamara. He misses the kick, an opportunity to hit Oscar Clark up. He couldn't get to him, but Bartlett gives it beautifully to Clark, though. He goes inboard to Trengove. It's a poor kick. Favretto in good position. Keeps it alive. Now there's a chance. Scara. Hits up Burgess, who's on the ground now. He's got to play this side of the ground if he wants to use him. Holzbauer on his hands and knees on the far side. Looks in a bit of trouble.
Too slow.
Comes into the corner, into the corridor, I should say, for Josh Slape. And Lambo's 100% correct. They're stagnant here. Looks like they're going to try something here. I'm not sure about it. What was that? Reece Slape. Good. Ollie Johnson, is it? Or
I reckon that was Elms.
And Angus Rana a chance to mark it and have another crack at goal.
Sean and Phil, too slow. That's the difference. A team that's going to move the ball in quicker will get more results. And honestly, I've had 4 cups of tea here, waiting for them to get rid of the ball.
Green tea, I hope, Craig.
Chamomile.
Chamomile.
Throw in front of the partly landscaped northeastern pocket of Hyacinth Stadium here at Richmond, and that's wrapped up pretty quickly. No one even appealing for holding the ball, which is unusual. Usually one side reckons they can get a free kick out of that. 8 minutes gone. Just the 1 goal kicked in favour of the Red Men. And they will get a clearance and a touch out of bounds.
Got one man on the far outer there patrolling the boundary, cheering on perhaps.
I reckon there's a bit of maroon under that blue.
Right.
I reckon he might be a Prince's fan.
He's still a bit of sledging too. I can see those lips going over there, boys.
8.5 gone. Throw in with the city skyline in the background. Jolly, who really hasn't had huge impact today.
No, he's been trying hard. He's had a few touches, there's no doubt about that.
Did have one very nice little tap that set up a forward inside 50.
Yep.
And you just know he only needs 5 minutes and 5 metres, and he could set this game alight.
Yep. Too high, and then 25 metres given away from Goodwood Saints. This is just an important little period here. 11 points at the margin now to Prince Alfred. Goodwood Saints need to just have a think about the way they're playing. They get sucked into giving undisciplined free kicks or penalties away. They need to get the ball in their hands and start taking the game on a little bit more than they have been prepared to do. And that is an opportunity here for Reece Slape. Watch, can he get it on quickly? Give his forwards a one-on-one opportunity. He has. Rana, can he mark it? He can't. It's almost to the point where I'd ignore that contest and try and find something else. Ellis tries to mark it.
Are they scared of going the corridor for turning it over and it being an easy goal the other way?
You've got to take chances, Phil. You've got to take chances.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's an 11-point game. It's not 20-minute mark final quarter.
Yep. I'm not sure why they're not trying to find Burgess.
Yeah.
He's the leading goal kicker for the year for him.
And goalless today.
Yep.
Here's the kick inside 50. 2-on-1 contest, Princes. Very easily mopped up. Larson, who might have just come on, or he's pretty free, spots it up. He goes inboard for Trengove. They'll switch play. Haven't seen a lot of switching play today. Jolly, why wouldn't you if he's got it? That's how you move it on quickly.
Yep.
He virtually marked, turned and kicked in the one motion.
This one's not.
Wildman has it. Too far out to score. Directs some traffic. Heads to the old scoreboard pocket, and let me Buckham, I think, because he's got those blue boots.
Oh, nicely done.
It is Buckham from 48. That's a huge...
Wow-wee. Play of the day. It's missed, has it? Oh. Got excited then, Phil.
Yeah, I was about to join you. So that makes it a 2-goal contest.
All right. I'm worried that we're only 10 minutes into the third quarter and some of the players look extremely out on their feet. This bigger ground, I don't know, it was late in the season, but have a look at Mason Ellison coming off the ground. I mean, he is spent.
The rotations, Sean and Phil, are just really regular, mate. Like you're saying, workload, trying to split it, but they're coming off pretty quick.
And Lambo, from your perspective, both teams still have a 4-person bench?
Yeah, everybody's fit and healthy at this stage, matey, and I'll let you know if there's any injuries, young Phil.
So here they go, Goodwood Saints. They are taking a risk here. Favoretto through the corridor, but Trengove intercepts it for him. Ends up with Pitt, gives it to McNamara, fumbles it. Coming out 100 mile an hour was Reece Slape, but in the end, Prince Alfred get another shot on goal. It's Sam Buckham who handballs it under the ground and onto the boot quickly. Looking for a good bounce was Trengove, and boy, he has picked up a half a dozen kicks already in the first 11 minutes of this quarter, and he is clearly thinking he needs another Dartfish beanie. In fact, his quarter's been so good, I'm actually going to suggest that Lambo gives him the dartfish beanie and he has to wear it in the last quarter.
He possibly has more dartfish beanies than we have at the moment.
The rumour has it he's opening up a shop.
Thumb from behind by Rana. Puts it back inside forward 50 for Princes. Lauby with the kick.
Good
Seeing
mark.
a lot of the forwards playing back and a lot of defenders playing
Gone.
up. Johnson very lucky to get rid of that.
Here's
a
a
chance out the back. This is Lauby.
Kick it off the ground. Burgess is there.
This time didn't keep his feet. Burgess was wide open, but they cannot get the ball to him. Darwood clamps up the forward movement. Favretto was brought to ground by some say in the back.
Very lucky.
Umpire concurs. You're right. More luck than good play there for Goodwood.
He's got Josh Slape on the outside if he wants to use him. He doesn't. Please don't kick it long to Doward. It's exactly what he does do. Oh! Tommy Carter's coming from nowhere, though.
TC.
If there's one bloke who can outmark Will Doward, it's Tommy Carter.
So what you had was an opportunity with Rana and Carter versus Doward to create a one-off marking opportunity. And
He
this
has kicked 2 goals this season.
This is the most important of his 2 or 3 if he kicks it. And Tommy Carter, 45-degree angle. Beautiful kick and a much-needed goal to Goodwood Saints. Breathes a little bit of life into them, and the crowd are up on their feet, Phil. If nothing else but to keep warm, because it has just dropped a couple of degrees here at Richmond Oval.
It has. Back to 7 points. I'm thinking back to that. Remember that behind that Goodwood conceded that they didn't have to?
Well, I'm actually thinking Carter forward's not a bad idea. If they can get him forward more and get
So
and
who's
Rana
going
can take
in the
a
ruck? Rana in the ruck.
Yep.
Well, it probably means that Princes can't feed off Rana like they feed off Carter.
Yeah.
And who's going in the ruck now for...
Siebels for Prince Alfred.
Okay. So what are we, 14 minutes?
And does it beautifully, Siebels. Trengove. He just didn't take it cleanly, which is unusual. Wicks ended up with it. Farmed it out. Now they go forward into the front half of the ground. Looks like... Not sure who that player is, but he's gone along to the top of the square. Good mark. Terrific mark. Bit of courage there from Reece Slate. We've seen him do that all year. It's the kick on the sideway kick.
I reckon that player might have been Oscar Clark.
Oscar Clark, was it? Okay. Is this Tommy Anderson with the ball? Yep.
Well, Ockenders are getting a very good workout this afternoon, that's for sure.
He goes long towards Rana. Gets his hands on it, just can't take it. It spills to the front. Goodwood's a Prince Alfred opportunity here. Oh, straight through the hands of Hurd. Dear, oh dear. Ain't come any easier than that. Now Hughes for Goodwood Saints.
Now, look, whoever loses this game is really not going to want to look at the videotape.
No, I don't think they will. It's the end of the season. They'll move on to 2023.
Yeah.
Looking at Mad Monday.
Hopefully not like the Western Bulldogs had their Mad Monday.
Okay, haven't heard about that one yet.
Right, we'll see the footage on
You'll see it on
social
the news,
media. It's not good.
but not in the sports section.
Yes.
Trengo in the middle there. Jolly Siebels couldn't lay the tackle. Trengo goes and gets it back. Threw some hands to Siebels. He got the kick away just as he was upended. Umpires found a free. It goes Siebels' way, I think.
His older brother won the medal.
Fair bit of pushing and shoving down by
Carl
the goal
Siebels,
square.
yes, he won the C-grade C1 medal, was it, Lambo?
Yes, found out through Jim today, and leading goal kicker too, Jack.
Yeah, well, it's no surprise. He's probably only 30 years of age. Big Carl, played state under 23 footy, so well-credentialed player. You would expect he would still play well at that level.
16-minute gone. 7-point margin, which is around 5 points at half-time.
Front of the old scoreboard.
Yep.
Carter back in the ruck. Over the back. Can't take it cleanly, Prince Alfred. Now they go towards the top of the square. 2 players running at it. Guess who's got it? I reckon that's Guess Who, isn't it?
Yeah, that's Guess Who.
Yep. Give him the beanie.
Boys, just quickly on Prince Alfred's interchange, just young Adam Perryman is getting a bit of tape around his chin, so it looks like he got a bit of a whack there, but that's all on the injury side, boys.
All right. He'd like to be referred to as young Adam Perryman. Been around for a while. Captain at Prince Alfred for quite a few years. State under 23 player.
Was he captain with their inaugural premiership year?
No, I don't think he was. It was the full-back at the time, who's played in the C grade as well now. Anyway, guess who has shot and hit the post, did it?
It did.
Hit the post. That would have been his second and would have been the only player on the ground who could have kicked two. But as it turns out, it wasn't, but that's not the greatest kick either. And Ollie Clark, who's coming into the game, has intercepted that nicely. Just outside 50. He loads up. Top of the square. Where's Finn Hurd? Nowhere to be seen. Where's Tom Bartlett? Everywhere. And again
they concede an
Goodwood
easy
Saints.
behind.
Tom Anderson concedes a point and pushes the margin out to 8 points in a low-scoring game. I'm with you a little bit, Phil. I think you've got to be careful about that. So please don't go. It seems to be the same kick every time long to the ruckman. Carter versus Neil. Ball spills forward. I guess you know that you're going to get a contest from Rana or Carter and it'll come forward. You just need to get to that spot. Favretto. Heitman. Serene. Slape. Someone pick the ball up. Good pressure from Prince Alfred though. Really good pressure there from Patrick Singleton. Results in a boundary throw-in. 18 minutes gone, folks. 18 minutes. 1 goal apiece for the quarter, Phil.
7 goals for the game on a beautiful day for footy.
Yeah.
Can't question the endeavour. Some of the decision-making and skills, maybe. Mackenzie Slee, take on the football, excellent. He assesses what's in front of him. And right now, that's a lot of players. Gets the Goodwood player off his mark. Kicks inside 50. Looking for Hurd. He got a hand pass out to Larson. They're one away here. Spills to McNamara. Wrong foots it.
How about a drop punt?
Is McNamara left or right footer?
I think he's a right footer. I'm not sure what was going on there.
You know, that's
He
the
just
difference
found
of winning
himself
and
on the
losing
wrong
games,
angle
boys.
and tried to kick it on the outside of the boot. And he did.
From
Too
30
much.
metres.
Watching too much AFL.
Too much AFL can hurt your football skills. Is that what we're saying?
So Scara coming into the game now. This is what I don't like, boys. This going sideways and no forward movement.
Take it on.
You need the next goal.
They need to play on. Play on at all costs. Well, not at all costs, but play on at some cost. Just play on sometime. So Heitman has a crack at that one, can't take it. Ball spills out. Larson throws himself at it. Someone take the ball cleanly here. No one can. The umpire says, give it to me. I'll show you how it's done. So Carter comes back into the ruck against Neil. No real tall forward option in front of the footy for him. It means Dowd can stand by himself. And he does. He's now playing loose because Goodwood Saints are running an extra player up at the ball. So the first time we've seen this all game.
Boys, 1 goal 5 to 1 goal 1 at the moment in this quarter. So, it hasn't been a lot of score at all.
Yeah, so this is the problem you've got right here. Carter kicks it in. They're outnumbered. Ollie Johnson does it well, though. He's been well shepherded by Burgess, too. This is not a bad kick. Knock it over, son. Knock it over. Oh, Lauby's there. Take it. Can keep your feet, son. Oh, well tackled.
Great tackle.
Well Dowd, the veteran.
Just on ground for them.
Well, that's the problem with one less player in the front half. Dowd didn't have an opponent and was able to get to that contest, and gee, that looked like an opportunity that they will rue missing, Goodwood Saints.
Not the first time that Goodwood have not fully converted an opportunity they've had, but I mean that's just the the awareness.
Yeah.
And he's still got all the skills, Will Dowd.
Or Reese has hurt himself.
Or he's
gone.
Up on
That's
the
his
ground.
knee by the looks
boys.
of it. Lambo, is it?
Yep. He's not good at all, boys.
Yeah, that's very.
He pointed to his knee straight away too.
Yeah, it's very sad to see.
He's a terrific player.
He's in a bit of pain there, Reece, and he's been playing a very good game, and that's not good news for Goodwood Saints at all. Let's hope
That might hold up the game here, Sean and Phil, I reckon. Yeah, he's in a fair bit of pain.
Yeah, so we're just going to get a quick replay, see what occurred here.
Oh, it's as he landed.
Yeah.
It's his left knee, was it? Yeah.
Right there. Okay.
There wasn't a lot in it, was there?
No, sometimes they
Innocuous.
don't. That's the very good, Jack. That was the word I was searching for.
Thank you. Angus Rana back on the ground to even it up forward of the ball for Goodwood Saints.
You know, hopefully that's a stinger, but they tend not to be.
Good news is he's walking with a little bit of assistance, but he is walking.
Yeah. So that puts a downer on things. 22 and a half minutes in the third quarter. Goodwood, they're down their end of the field on a rare occasion. Heitman's kick.
Hold the ball.
Bounce.
And paid.
And this is where Goodwood Saints have been actually competing, and where they got their last goal in the first quarter was some holding the balls.
He's had some good moments, Levi Elms, hasn't he? He's had some really good moments in this game where he's done the spectacular, and that tackle on Lockie McNamara was terrific. And well, if he kicks this, Phil, they are back to within 2 points. Or 2 points, not within 2 points, 2 points.
Within the 2 points that they conceded easily earlier in the game.
That's gone nowhere near it, unfortunately. Look at Dowd.
Is that Dowd again?
There is your candidate up against Trengo for the beanie.
No, I think I would go with Goodwood boys at this stage because his first 7 minutes of footy was outstanding too.
If Goodwood Saints end up kicking 4 or 5 goals for the game, you got to say credit to the defence.
Well, he's getting another one
and
here.
He's the big man in defence. Favoretto tries to find a slot to get a kick away. Lauby is lurking as always. That's gone out of bounds on the full.
The lurker.
The lurker. The lurking Lauby. Still an 8-point margin. This is Goodwood Saints' purple patch here. They've got it down their end of the ground where it hasn't been much at all since quarter time. They need to get a goal out of this. You get the feeling if Samuel Prince's fast break, score a goal, that'd be almost a backbreaker.
Well, 24 minutes gone.
Quarters have gone about 28-29, despite the low scoring. Plenty of stoppages.
So boys, just I'll get a follow-up when I can with the trainers from Goodies when I can, but that's the only injury so far throughout the game.
Okay. At the tick over 25, there's, I reckon, some of your Port District lads up there, maybe. Maybe.
Can't recognise any faces there.
Yeah.
Summary and then a commercial break. We'll go straight to
Of course, there'll be plenty out at Norwood next week, the Buddy Bet Division 1 Grand Final.
They won't get the trifecta, will they? Their B's and C's lost today, Port Districts.
Down. That'll be a big weekend for SA Footy. The Adelaide Footy League Div 1 Grand Final, Norwood on the Saturday. Sandford Grand Final on the Sunday, North Adelaide. Will they get Norwood or will they get the Crows? And I could not believe what I read in the paper during the week.
Squealing about free kicks?
Not the free kicks. Oh, the fans are too noisy and are influencing the umpires.
Yeah.
This is a club with 60,000 members.
Yep.
Against a Sandford club that's probably got about 2. Anyway,
sorry. On the ball, Mason Ellis, and Trengove is the recipient of the free kick. He is desperately wanting to get another Dartfish bean. He wheels around quickly. It's well marked, however.
He's played a terrific game too.
Jack Carter.
No, that's John Ludis.
Got 2 players to go to. This is what's hurting him a little bit. Just get the ball on quickly. Goes to Tom. Good mark. Post to Jordan Neal. That's actually not. That's Rana, is it? Yeah, it's Angus Rana. So Carter's off, is he?
Long way from home. Let's have a look.
I can get coaches on half-time.
Can't see Carter out there. Might be having a well-earned break. And
just before
Carter's having a break.
An extended 3-quarter time break. Yeah, why not? They've tried to manage him a little bit today.
And a nice tap by Rana. Can't get the clearance though. Trengove it is who ends up with it again. Gee, he's had some footy. Been impressed with Larson's game as well. Right from the first bounce. Kicked a goal early in the game. Now goes with some length. Now here's an opportunity for Goodwood Saints. Oh, just no thought given whatsoever to that kick. It was just
I like the idea. Let's go up the guts, let's kick it long, but you've still got to put it in the best position for your teammate to be able to mark it.
Yep.
He was doing the right thing. He was playing in front. That's where your forwards are supposed to be. But
plenty of work for you, Lambo. Give us some mail on what you think that breeze is going to do in the last quarter. Will it favour any side at all? But, well, almost like the second quarter, that quarter was a little bit lacklustre at times, 1 goal apiece. And Prince Alfred, well, they're on 4-6, and Goodwood Saints, they're on 3-4. They trail by 8 points, and we'll take a break, Phil?
We will. 2 teams that have won a premierships in recent years. Only one will be in the grand final next week. We'll find out who after the break.
G'day guys, the Simon Black Academy is all about education and sport. Our partner in education is Torrens University, where our students either do a 1-year diploma course or a 3-year Bachelor of Business. Around that we run a football and athletic program based here at Norwood Oval, and it's all about trying to develop and take our students' game to a new level. Around that also, our third pillar, besides education and football, is personal development. If you want to get involved, check out our website, which is simonblack.com.au.
Well folks, we're down here at the Banner Crew. Our friend, supporter and sponsor of Between the Posts has joined us. Welcome Jason Goods.
Thanks Tony, nice to be with you.
What can the people out there expect to buy from the Banner Crew and get looked after?
Pretty much anything that you can put your club logo on or a message from the club, whether it be like you mentioned, a marquee or a flag or an A-frame or a banner, a stubby holder, a pen, anything like that, anything that you can pop the club branding on. Everything's customisable, so basically we've got an in-house design department with 2 graphic designers that can work toward getting the message across that you're after.
We're down here at 318 to 326 St Vincent Street, Port Adelaide. Jason, thank you so much for your support.
Three-quarter time here, Sean and Phil and Prince Alfred are up by 8 points. Who really wants to go to that big dance, boys? Well, at the moment, if Prince Alfred keep playing the way they are, they'll go there. But Goody Saints came in really quick at three-quarter time. They're up and about. They reckon they got a big crack at this game. And so how can they do it better? Well, they got to run more, get the ball on quicker, and they got to convert in the forward line and just keep doing those little things. Prince Alfred reckons they're fitter. They reckon they're going to run all over them in this quarter. Well, I'm still going for Goody Saints by 2 goals, Jacko and Phil, but it's a great game. I don't know. Who really wants to go to this big dance? We'll find out in 25 minutes, boys. Back to you.
Boy, he's fired up, the Lambo. He is fired up.
Lambo hasn't been that excited about a big dance since the Peckers Disco days, I reckon.
Used to move all right, the Peckers Disco, the old lamb.
I reckon, yeah, a lot of the old Woodville boys did very well at the Peckers Disco from memory. But we're here at Richmond.
We are indeed.
And it's a 10-point margin, which seems very, like, not much. But in the context of this game, I can't see, if this gets out to 3 or more goals, I can't see Goodwood Saints coming back.
Yeah, you wouldn't want to see, if you're a Goodwood Saints supporter, you wouldn't want to see a Redmond score the first goal of this quarter because it could easily get shut down. We spoke enough, Phil, during the quarter, well, I certainly did, about Goodwood Saints needing to take the game on a little bit more if they're to win. Just feel like they've been a little bit stagnant. Need some players running past to receive handballs from marks and free kicks. It's been kick. We don't have the luxury of stats here, but it feels like, it's predominantly a kick game from Goodwood Saints today. So we know we've got some tired bodies out there. Well, this is it. The last quarter, you've got to find something. Grand final berth on the line, 25 minutes of real energy. Let's see what both sides can bring to the table.
Prince Alfred broke late, therefore their fans broke late, and they're still just clambering over the fence by the mound bar. That's been doing a pretty good business here today. Don't really have much in the way of scores around the other grand finals, except to tell you at Woodville, Pembroke are leading Hope Valley by 5 goals. About 20-minute mark of the third quarter. As I mentioned, most of the grand finals are about 15 minutes behind our match. So we're set, final quarter for one of these sides. Who will it be? Let Sean Jackson tell you the tale.
Oh, here we go. Neil it is who gets first hands on the ball, follows his work up, goes in the direction of Goodwood Saints. They're going to the right of screen the last quarter with supposedly the breeze. But the coach, Craig Pitt, gets first kick of the last quarter. Blessing from Goodwood Saints is in the road, follows his work up well. He's well tackled, I should say, by Oliver Clark, and we'll get a restart. And this plays into Prince Alfred's hands. Goodwood Saints, even though they have the dominance of Tom Carter predominantly at the ruck, I'm sure that's always reflected in their clearance statistics. And Jolly, who gets that kick away for Prince Alfred from that stoppage. Now they go, Prince Alfred deep. Watch for Bartlett here. Serene did it beautifully, though. Needs to understand he can't play back through the post, so get yourself on an angle, son. Too slow. The reluctance to want to come this side at times is also something I can't quite grasp. But anyway, goes towards Carter. He brings the ball to the front. Jolly ends up with it for Prince Alfred. He's well tackled. Gives it to Pitt. Larson, the left foot around the corner. Larson has been really, really effective for the Prince Alfred Old Collegians today. That is his first player on the ground to actually have 2 goals. But it was a well-orchestrated passage of play. But it started for me, Phil, with Serene not prepared to take the game on here. Had a player this side of the ground with a little bit of space and decided, nah, I'm just going to go long to Carter. 1-on-2. That's what you got.
And Jolly, that key hand pass to an open Pit to Larson, who doesn't need much space to create something. And he created maybe the goal that puts Prince Alfred into back-to-back grand finals. We'll find out. But they've certainly won the first 2 minutes. Carter got the tap. Niels had it, lost it.
Heitman with the footy.
And he's tackled by
Jolly. Need this clearance.
It's Prince Alfred's to lose 16 points. Goodwood Saints are going to have to find 3 goals, and they've kicked.
Carter's kicked that.
He wants to do it all by himself, doesn't he? And he can't. Oh, there's another guy who's thrown himself into the action, Lauby, even if the execution has been lacking. That didn't go 15.
Crowd wanted holding the ball.
So if he grabbed it and made no attempt to get rid of it, I don't know. I tend to find with the short marks, umpires will give players the benefit of the doubt.
Yep. He's done the same thing.
Yeah. It spills though to Slee. He says, I've got some open space. Oh, gee, a Goodwood Saints player in Whitelock slipped over at the inconvenient moment. That gave his opponent some time to get it. Come back in for McNamara to get on the second hop. Shows some clean skills. Onto Hurd, who's absolutely drilled. Not sure where the pro opportunity was there, but you give the reward to the tackle.
Get it on quick then.
Yep, Mason Ellis. Now, come on. This is what we're talking about.
No.
You want a runner going past. You want Louis Whitelock. You want
Just keep.
You want players screaming for the ball.
Yeah, we don't want this kick game. Well, when I say we, Goodwood Saints.
Oh, hello.
I'm just trying
you
to
got a buddy bet on this.
No, I'm trying to orchestrate a close game. We all love a close game.
Yeah, okay.
So that's Ollie Johnson, the target. If he can't mark it, it goes forward to Bartlett. The dancing shoes on, gets around beautifully and hits up Larson. Could not put a glove on Tommy Bartlett. There's not a lot of him, but he had the Fred Astaire dancing shoes on and... Well,
I'm calling it, Jacko. He kicks this.
We can go home.
Prince Alfred fans can start.
I'll do the rest of the game, boys. I'll meet at the pub.
No, I never go. Even in my worst Woodville days, Jacko,
right.
I always stayed to the final.
Oh, good man.
Even when it was raining, Phil?
Especially when it was raining.
Good on you, mate.
Usually club you tucked up the back of the grandstand, and you wouldn't take the floggers with the crepe paper in the rain.
Well, speaking of floggers, Mitch Larson has the ball. Nah, just joking. Mitch Larson for his third. And he's made no mistake. That one is much different to his previous kicks where they've sort of gone head high. He leant back on that one, gave it some air, and well.
Boys, who kicked the first goal? What player? What was
He did. Same player. Mitch Larson has kicked 2 goals this quarter.
Oh, sorry.
A late candidate for the beanie. And the Archie's footwear or the Moseley Bar and Kitchen team player voucher.
Don't think we've given him a beanie to this stage, Mitch Larson, but if he can kick 4 more, is a certainty.
Lambo might correct me. I reckon Mitch got something on the elimination final while Jacko was sunning himself up in Bali. I just can't remember which one he got. But
okay.
It doesn't matter what they got before. We obviously do
What's
it on
about the future, Phil?
Right, so Favretto, speaking of the future, hits it down the middle. Burgess pushed underneath the ball by Slee. Intelligent. Chris Curran cops one in the head. Gets a free kick. Last thing he needs to get is concussion. It's not Chris Curran. Yes, it is. Yep. It's not...
You sure you haven't got concussion, mate?
He goes sideways. They can afford to go sideways. No problems with that. He hits up Tom Sumner. Goes the far side. Looks like Craig Pitt. I reckon you'll find he'll go into defence for the rest of the quarter. With a kick like that, maybe you should go to the fence, not the defence.
22-point margin, biggest of the game. Goodwood Saints would have to double their scores. The only reason they're still in it is probably Princes have kicked 8 behinds. And yep, someone takes the game on, gets a bit bold, run and carry, ran too far, didn't bounce. Let's see what they do on the turnover. Larson happy to take it.
Doubled the score, by the way, boys.
They are, and Prince are running really hard, boys. They are really running hard these first early minutes of this.
That Larson again with the footy.
Yeah. I think Princes can sense that this is where they can just put the game beyond doubt. Oscar Clark.
Clarky.
Reckon this might be.
Feels like they've just put the foot down on the accelerator a bit, doesn't it?
Yep. And that's the thing. If you give Prince Alfred 5 minutes of domination, they will put something match-winning together. Oscar Clark tangling there with another player. Favretto. Serene.
Good tackle.
And in the end, there you're right. Tackle, turnover. Oscar Clark bobs up for his 3rd possession in a minute. And who was he kicking that to? Because I can't see a player with Prince Alfred red within about 20 metres.
Not sure, but this is a better switch of play to Anderson. Now to Ollie Johnson. Stands under the footy well, under a little bit of heat. Get on with it, son.
It's just nice to see. Good
Lord, what are you waiting for? Goes to Favretto. Blessing picks it up. Nice handball. Josh Slape. It's well taken by Sam Buckham. And again, Mitch Larson hits a nice kick out towards Hugo Kelly. What will he do with this? Jeepers, not a lot, but there's plenty of space there.
Perfect kick.
No, that's the worst kick ever, boys, from where I'm standing. But
McNamara was so open, it didn't matter.
Oh, yeah. McNamara could have gone to Jolly then. One of the best kicks and elected not to. So, well, he is straight in front, and I don't mind a captain who says, well, look, I'll do it, but you want to make sure you kick it after ignoring Jolly there.
Yep.
He's certainly taking his time, isn't he? If there was a 30-second rule, well, he's used it.
Still plenty of rotations on the bench, boys.
Yep, Siebel's ready to come on. So Lockie McNamara to put the nail in the coffin. He's pushed it to the right, unfortunately. They're out to 6 goals, 9 at now, Prince Alfred Old Collegians. Goodwood Saints, 3 goals, 4.
23 points the margin. They're going to need 4 goals, the Goodwood Saints, and they've only kicked 3 thus far. After kicking 4 last week, they had a pretty balanced offence that just has not fired a shot.
Trengo again.
The intercept, the kick back inside 50. They're raffling it almost. Oscar Clark, hand pass back to Buckham. Needs to find a lane, which he does. Good night. Mark it in your books. It'll be Port and Princes, the West versus the East next week.
Wow,
the
Phil,
Princes
there's
versus the
still
Porters.
16 minutes to go in the game. You just never know, Phil.
Oh,
But
look,
anyway.
yes, I know I'm going to look stupid if Goodwood win from here, but...
As a southerner, Phil, who will you be going for?
Oh, look, as Port District are in the Eagles zone,
Right.
so I'll go with the Eagles zone club.
All right, good. Lambo? Old Port man.
Yeah, they're due for one, aren't they?
Yeah.
30 years, long enough.
Interesting. I got a chance to chat with the 3 brothers, Gaffney brothers, during the week. An interview on Between the Post, and their father played in the last premiership.
Now,
for
that was
Port
Peter,
Districts.
wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, Peter sent me a great email during the week, which I must respond to tomorrow.
He wants a beanie.
No. He sent me a wonderful email with all the history of Port District.
Okay.
Which I said, okay, I'll deal with that next week because this week's been a bit flat out. So I'll share some of that next week, Jacko, if the game allows.
Yeah, great.
They're running hot.
You can't wait, can you?
It's all Prince Alfred. You can see we've turned off because, this game is fast disappearing from the Goodwood Saints.
They're running hard, Jack.
They are running hard, Prince Alfred. It's always easy to run hard when you've got the footy, of course. Oscar Clark has the ball, goes backwards. Now they come in the middle.
I don't think Goodwood Saints have had a forward 50
Mitch
in this
Tearley.
quarter, and it's gone 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Well, that's been the difference, hasn't it?
You can't score if you can't get inside 50.
No, it's difficult to score from outside 50. It's a good kick, though, to Hurd. I don't think he's kicked one today, Hurd, has he?
No. Young Ludus has done a magnificent job on him.
Yeah.
There'll be 2 future talents that hopefully will be calling for the years to come, those 2.
That's if they're still at the local clubs.
Well, I've said hopefully.
What do you know? You heard something, Lambo.
What have you heard about Hurd, Lambo?
I heard it on the grape. I'll tell you what I've heard. I've heard that Richie Douglas is having a chat to
A certain club.
Peter's Old Collegians.
Oh, we're going
this
to name
week.
the club.
Yeah, why
We're going to name the player
Why
and the
not?
club.
Why not?
That's how rumours start, Sean.
Well, it's not a rumour. That's a trumour. That is a trumour. And expect to hear him announced as the coach within a week.
All right.
And
Beautiful pass from Larson.
Larson, I tell you what.
Oscar Clark.
Was that Larson or Clark that kicked it?
Larson to Clark.
Right, okay.
We got Larson.
Because you've
right
got
up
some
there.
decisions to make, Jacko.
Haven't I?
You have, and I think you can eliminate 22.
Finn Hurd.
No, not. You can eliminate. You got 44 players to choose from, and you can eliminate 22 of them.
Right, okay. Sorry, I thought you were having a crack at poor old Finn Hurd.
No, I'll leave that for you.
Were, Phil.
So Oscar Clark to kick his first for the day, 30 metres out. Distance not a problem, and neither is the accuracy. It is all over. Raining goals here at Richmond Oval. Prince Alfred, well, we thought their fitness, we thought the open ground might suit their game. It didn't really appear so early, but, well, they have run right over the top of Goodwood Saints this quarter, that is for sure.
So, boys, Goodie Saints going to kick anything in the second quarter, and the way they're going, they're not going to kick anything in this last quarter.
So nothing in the second, 1 in the third. So 2 in the first, nothing in the second, 1 in the third, and nothing in the last. It's not great scoring power, is it?
Yeah. Looks like it's going to be a poor way to finish off what looked like a very promising season. Pick gets the clearance. Oscar Clark, he gets into it. Hand pass on to Trengo. Trengo from short distance to Bartlett.
It's a training drill, boys.
It's looking that way. We've seen more clean possession in the last 5 minutes than we've seen in the first 3 quarters.
Yeah. Yes, there's some red, white, black witches' hats out there, isn't there?
Just at the moment.
Yeah, there's a lot of smiles on the bench here at for Prince Alfred too, boys, just looking around.
Look, in saying that, it's very
Oscar,
difficult to keep
Oscar Clark
charging
coming
hard when you know the game's slipped from out of your reach.
Yeah.
Bartlett for his first, I think, is it? No, that's his second.
He got that one hand pass from Hurd earlier when he got separation and
Tommy
kicked
Bartlett.
it pretty much on the goal line.
So if you were Port Districts, would you be a tad nervous about Prince Alfred? I think you would, wouldn't you?
You'd have to pay respects that Prince Alfred are the defending champions and they had a shocking start, but
Kick a goal when you come off.
They are probably the hottest team in the competition. But you should take some confidence that you went to Park 9 and beat them.
Yeah, that's true.
So it's not like... I would say 6 goals might be the winning score in next week's grand final with the 2 best defences in play. Who'll crack first? That's the joy of grand finals.
Good kick, Favretto to Serene. He's got Lauby. If you can get it to him, he does. Play on, son. Play on. Have a crack. Nothing to wait for now. Goes to Hughes.
Yeah, he's not fit, boys, Hughesy.
No, it's a good effort just to be out in the park. Hopefully he doesn't need a knee reconstruction. So that kick has been well intercepted by Tom Sumner. And he's quite content to slow the game right down at the 14-minute mark.
And now, if you're Craig Pitt, who are you going to put in cotton wool for the rest of this game?
Well, it wouldn't be Craig Pitt. It would be the bench coach who would be looking after that. But surely that would have been discussed as a playing coach. So that comes under the guise of what ifs. What if we get up enough? Who do we need to rest? It's anyone who has potentially been a bit sore, has had a heavy workload. So for mine, Trengove, but he thrives on it. So perhaps not Trengove.
Maybe a Jolly, but Jolly hasn't been really a big impact today, boys, really.
No, Bartlett, he's taken Bartlett off, I've noticed.
Yeah, but he came off, Sean, because he kicked a goal.
Well, that's don't kick a goal. Don't kick a goal, son.
Darwood to Curran. Suddenly there seems to be acreages of space everywhere, Jacko.
Yeah.
Perryman needed a good bounce, didn't get it, so he plays Shepparder. Chance for Slee to show some attacking flair. Take a bounce, runs to 60.
Great kick.
Kick to a one-on-one contest. Clark, unfortunately, oh no, that was Wicks.
Louis.
And there's another... okay, it's not going to be match deciding, is it?
Not now. Not now when the margin is 42 points or 7 goals.
7 goals.
20-minute mark, Jack, you'll give me some names, I reckon, matey.
All
yeah,
right.
I'll bring him down to you, Lambo.
Oh, thanks, Phil.
I need the exercise.
While you're there, I'll have a coffee.
Let Jacko call some footy. I'll call some footy now while you do this, and then you call while I go down. A bit of a wayward kick coming back in for Goodwood Saints. Princes are just lining up here. Perryman sends it back inside 50, but Whitelock on this occasion too strong for Ollie Clark.
Could be Louis'
They'll
last
go
game.
as they seem to have gone all afternoon to the outer side. Either that or they're very interested in the reconstruction taking over there and they want a constant look at it. And still, look, yep, they're keeping possession. Is there any sign of urgency? No, but then this game's done. Turnover. Here we go. Beautiful spin move. McNamara found himself free. Larson for the beanie.
He's dropped it.
He couldn't take it. He's fighting for it. Couldn't win the battle though, but he kept it there long enough for Wicks to get there and pass to Siebel. All I can say is I love the effort and second effort from Mitch Larson on that occasion.
Well, I tell you what, I'd start to write his name in the Archie's Footwear Best on Ground. Larson there, but I'll hold my pen for a couple more minutes because he's got a challenger.
You got 2 minutes and 45 seconds.
Is that right?
I'm going to take it down at the 20-minute mark.
Okay. You've seen that happen before at AFL Grand Finals where they got to vote for best on ground and then the result's still in the...
I had to do the Bob Quinn Medal Anzac Day one day.
Right.
I get the different media doing it. And of course, it had to be one of those days, close game, and no one really stood out. And I put one guy's name down, and sure enough, he kicked the winning goal 30 seconds later. I thought, yep, that'll do. Angus Poole from the Eagles,
right,
as it turned out.
Playing at Kadina now, Angus.
Yep.
Finished fourth, bombed out the finals.
Not
disappointing finish.
Not the only club to do that.
No.
Be fascinated to see. The Sunday Mail will be where you'll need to go tomorrow to check out who's won what final in what league.
Nice bit of evasive work by Jolly there.
What are you going to do Sunday mornings when there's no footy season to get the Sunday mail scores from?
What am I going to do? What's
Well, Sunday morning, it's for you, I know, is get the Sunday mail, have a cuppa,
Yep.
get all the scores together. What are you going to do when there's no footy to get scores?
Oh, I'll still get up and still read the paper, Phil.
Still read the paper?
That's how the day starts for my good self.
Yeah.
Hey, Sean and Phil, just a bit of feedback from me at ground level. If a team's only kicked 3 goals and one of the Prince Alfred's backman's been really outstanding all day, I reckon he's in the top 2.
Yeah, well, he is. He's definitely got an award.
Buckham from long distance. I'll tell you what, that's 3 times Princes have needed a good bounce and haven't got it. They could have completely blown this apart if they'd have been goals. Jacko's made a decision.
Yep, I've got to go with my head.
Oh, okay. Nice mark taken by Jacob Hughes. Oh, look, he handballed to a running player.
Burgess does it nicely, gives it to Heitman. He goes over the top. Watch Lauby, needs a good bounce. Does he get it? Not the first one, and then he's offline. Got to keep your body in line, son. That's the problem there. A bit unlucky. Poor Dale Lauby. The first bounce wasn't Sam Lauby, I should say. The first bounce wasn't the greatest, but the second one he just took his body offline and made it a bit more difficult than it needed to be. But he certainly tried hard, and he's still running hard at the 20-minute mark of the last quarter when he knows the game is shot. And I wouldn't take any criticism or give any criticism to any player at this stage of the game. It's very hard to stay motivated when you know your season is at its end. For Prince Alfred, conversely, well, they've got it all in front of them. The grand final next week to be played at the Norwood Oval against the rampaging Port Districts. Will history be made? 30-odd years since they won their last premiership. Now Prince Alfred, have a bounce.
Run.
2, have a third. 3, have a fourth. 4, have a shot on goal now, son.
And he's
and he's missed it. That was just a terrific passage of play, individual passage of play, I should say, by Campbell Wildman out the far side. 4 bounces. Just couldn't quite get it through the big sticks, but exciting nonetheless. Now Goodwood Saints come this side of the ground. Lauby, he's worked his way right down the ground. Now goes inboard. Josh Slape, hopefully his brother Reese isn't too bad. Now goes to Tommy Anderson. Got a player on the far side. Goes to him now. Looks like Ollie Johnson, I think. Doesn't have enough carry on the kick. Trengove gets it. What about the hand speed? Gets it back. Definitely would have had more touches than any other player on the ground, I would think. Campbell Wildman now around the corner. Seaballs off the back foot. There's a lesson for you there, mate, when you watch the tape. Very hard to kick effectively off the back foot, no matter how good you are. So you just got to tend to ignore that kick, go back, get yourself balanced, forward momentum, and then kick to space. Anyway, that's the coach's hat taken off because Ellis has it now for Goodwood Saints. Goes down the line of the square to Rana. He's taken a couple of good marks today. Plays on. Doesn't look, though. And guess who? The man who has read the play better than anybody in defence today for either side, Will Doward's had an exceptional game. Gives it to Ollie Clark. He's also played exceptionally well. Kelly tried to push Carter out the way. Jack variety. Jack spins and sets it up for Lauby if he's good enough. Ball comes forward. Pitt. Trengove again. Short kick is nice to Wicks. Good pressure from Goodwood Saints. However, Jack Carter now. Favretto punched what he should have taken. Hugo Kelly with a nice spin and even better kick with the outside of the foot, if you don't mind. The Seaballs plays on. Seaball, get ball. Trengove kicks his second of the game, and let me tell you, he has had an exceptional game, Jack Trengove. They are blessed to have him, Prince Alfred Old Collegians. Last year, he won everything, Phil. He won the medal, the competition, he won the premiership, he won best player on the grand final.
He did.
This year,
Best and fairest.
Best and fairest this year. He's had a slower start to the year.
Well, he wasn't Robinson Crusoe at Prince Alfred with that.
No, but his second half has been terrific.
Yeah.
and his final form has been great. And as I said,
G'day to Tommy Javor if you're watching, TJ. A couple of score updates at 3/4 time. Div 2 Broadview Trail Sacred Heart by 3 points. Div 3 Golden Grove by 3 goals over Edwardstown. So a couple of games there still up for grabs for a premiership.
as Jacob Hughes takes a nice competitive mark there against Patrick Singleton.
First shot on goal this quarter, I would suggest.
Yep. So Jacob Hughes, almost straight in front. Should have no problems with the distance. That is a good kick. That's his second also for the day. Jacob Hughes.
And the first for Goodwood going to the southern end.
First for the game for the southern end, is it? Yeah, which was the
well,
scoring end.
They were goalless stand that in the second, and they were goalless until that point of the final. So all pretty academic. End of the day, this game really is about one thing: who lives on and who gets to play for a premiership next week. The rest, not so significant. And Prince Alfred will ride a pretty good run of form. Their only loss was that game at Glenunga.
Chris Curran having a spell now. Phil, you asked about who you'd take off the ground.
Yep, not bad.
Take some of the cream off. Larson, nice mark, plays around, spun on a 5-cent coin, and then has the temerity to finish with a beautiful kick. And that's not a bad goal there. I think that was Will Charlton.
No, wouldn't it be? He's not in. That's Buckham. You saw the 7.
Oh,
Blue boots?
Buckham, yes.
Blue
Sorry,
boots,
Sam
Buckham.
This
will be Prince Alfred's 8th win from their last 9 games.
Yeah, it's impressive form. And, well, next week, as you mentioned earlier, we've got the Wharfies versus the...
Silver Spoons.
The Spooners.
Yeah.
Wharfies and the Spooners. And that's not a good sign. Patrick Neal, the ruckman, hobbling to the bench. Last thing you need is a serious injury to him.
Yeah, Jordan Neal, well...
Yeah, he just... he'll probably get the ice just on the... just
the fact he was
leg
sort
injury
of...
there. No, he's okay.
Yeah, might just have said, oh, that's my day done.
Mm.
Whilst we're taking some players off, Coach, how about me?
Mm.
So Siebels will get the ruck duty. Into the final minutes of the Goodwood Saints season. They're a heck of a club. And I think
Jolly.
As I said, this has really just been the Prince Alfred show in this final quarter, with just about everybody getting in on the action and excitement and the highlights tape. Kick into the 50. Can they get 2 in a row? Goodwood. Dorwood. Won't get past him easily. Now that, to me, would that be considered deliberate? I'm so confused about what league interprets. But that's right. There is unofficially no deliberate out of bounds in the Adelaide Footy League. It's in the rule book. It's just never called.
Yep.
Okay.
26.5 gone, folks. Thanks for bearing with us during the day. Our energy has ebbed and flowed with the lack of glucose in the stand at Richmond. But certainly we've had some individual great passage of play, and I guess it feels almost like Prince Alfred just ground Goodwood Saints down, and their pressure, their defensive pressure has been particularly good from the start. Goodwood Saints came out of the blocks well, just haven't been able to sustain it. In the end, the margin of 8 goals, probably not a true reflection on the game.
Kicked 10 of the last 12 goals.
Yeah.
10 goals to 2 is...
So hard to swallow if you're a Goodwood Saints proud person, and there'd be a lot of them floating around, watching and at home.
Well, still go to Norwood next week because your C's are in the grand final. It's going to be Princes and Goodwood in the C's, St. Peter's and Old Ignatians in the B's, and Prince Alfred and Port District in the A's. Is this Mackenzie Slee going to get a shot?
Forward, yeah.
Ha ha. Just let me check this out for a sec.
Yeah,
I'm going to go and quickly check. Because I have a feeling that it may, if it is, it's not a lot. Oh, hello. Ooh. Mackenzie Slee, the wrong team. Give me a sec. Take your time, Mackenzie. Give me a chance to get this up.
You can take your time getting the goals up. I thought you were better than that,
30-second rule.
Yes.
No, there's a problem getting the profile. Please try again later.
Well, he's straight in front. He was going to make the distance, and he has made the accuracy. And the way they are getting around him, Phil, suggests to me that may well be his first. But two players that didn't get there. One was Jolly and one was Doward.
Fitness.
Yeah, both have done a power of work and went, why would I want to run all the way down there?
He had kicked 2 goals for the minor round.
Okay. Well, then, fair enough. Why would Jolly and Doward go down there?
Yeah. They know this because defenders talk about it when they kick goals.
Right, okay. So a bit of...
when he was held on too high, I can understand why he got the
bit of concern around the Prince Alfred Old Collegians bench. A few mothers and girlfriends looking around to see if someone's injured down there, Lambo. No, all looks good.
They'll all come on to see me after the game, aren't we, guys? Yeah, it's all about Lambo.
Lambo's already establishing his fan club for next week.
They got my banner already made up for next week.
Righto, good to hear.
Looking to
Cooper Stadium next week. Lambo will be separated by the crowd by a brick wall. Not that that will stop Lambo from interacting, I'm sure. So, Barkham, we have gone off pace a lot with this game. It's been that kind of match. In the end, emphatic. Absolutely emphatic. Prince Alfred, they're going to get a crack. They're going back to back. It's going to be a mighty match next week. Goodwood Saints, a great season until they hit Port District and Prince Alfred, clear the 2 best teams in the comp. And so we move on to the final dance.
Josh Slape down there limping quite profusely on his left knees, heavily bandaged. Let's hope that's not a ACL on a 12-month. They're being consoled by Cam Giles, who is obviously missing out of the Prince Alfred side at the moment. It's, as you mentioned, Phil, an emphatic victory in the end by Prince Alfred. Simply too good for Goodwood Saints. Look, they came out and they came out swinging, and Luke can be proud of his boys for the reaction to last week's disappointing loss. They came out and they're a proud club, and that's the way they played early, but in the end they were just overwhelmed, swarmed by a side that was man for man probably just too good. And, well, it sets the stage for a particularly enthralling game next week. Game of 2 contrasting clubs. The men from the working side of town, Port Districts.
Flagless for 3 decades.
Yes, up against the Spooners from Prince Alfred.
Now, I should correct myself. When I say flagless for 3 decades, Division 1 flagless for 3 decades. And Prince Alfred, well, they have a bit of history to make there, because not only the chance to go back to back, but to be that first collegiate side to get the 3 Div 1 flags will be something that might get a mention during the week. We thought Rocks might be the team to do that, or maybe Saints, St. Peter's. But no, Princes will get the first crack at that next week. That game will be at a 2:30 start. Check your local guides. Between the posts during the week, we've got a big grand final show playing with Tony, Jacko.
We do indeed. Yeah, look forward to that coming out on Wednesday night. We'll announce the team of the year.
Wow.
And I can tell you, I'll give you a scoop, Phil. There are 3 Prince Alfred players in it.
Okay.
And 1, 2, 3 from Goodwood Saints, 2 from memory.
Okay.
At least 2 anyway.
From what I saw of it, and I did have a sneak peek, not a bad spread. You found places for at least 1 player from most clubs.
Yeah, so that's the auspices of picking the team for me, Phil. Every side should have a representative.
Okay.
And the side that finishes highest should have the most representatives. So 4 from Port Districts, but Craig Lambert awaits. Where are you, Lambo?
Yes, here I am. What a game today, especially after half-time. Prince Alfred went to another level, 57 points winners. Absolutely superb win. Today, I'll tell you what, there were some outstanding performances, but this guy here, he's been best on ground a few times over the years, and the rumour has it he's got, how many Archie beanies you got now, big fella, Jack?
No, the other boys keep stealing them.
Yeah, no, best on ground, Archie's footwear, best on ground. You got your beanie and your dartfish You got your Archies and your Dartfish Beanie. Jack Trenroll, number 9, mate. Great game, mate. And 57 points, mate. Just outstanding all day.
Yeah, thanks. I think we always knew it was going to be a bit of a grind, and that first half showed that. Pretty even contest until half-time, and then we knew we'd have the run in the legs, and we just sort of kept grinding away and making sure we were sticking to what we wanted to do, and it sort of started to open up a bit in the second half, and it was nice to play in a big open ground like this one. So it's all well and good winning today, but we really want to win next week. Sure.
Port District's the big dance, mate. Anything can happen on the day. So I don't think you've got any injuries at this stage?
I think we're okay. See how we go. It's sort of the first time in a while that we've had unchanged lineups into each week, so a bit of consistency has been really nice.
Well done, mate. Great effort today, and I'll just give you your awards. Just put it on for us again, mate, because I know you wear them to bed. Yeah. And there's your Archies too, matey.
Beautiful. Thanks very much.
No, we appreciate effort. Well done, mate.
Cheers.
Well, this big fella here we've known for a few years, Jacko, and I'll tell you what, he played a great game in the back line today. Well done, Will Dowwood, mate. Number 16, you got the Mosley Award, $100, mate. So Jacko and I and Phil expect you to a phone call, and you can take us there, mate. But outstanding right from the first bounce, mate, and the back line combined well today.
Yeah, we did. We came in with some matchups and a game plan, and we pulled it through. So it was good to see. And as Jack said, next week's the big one. So if we can do it again next week as a group, they've got a good forward line and a good midfield. So it'll be a good challenge.
All the best for the grand final, mate. You've had an outstanding year, mate, and back to bat, mate. And as you know, it's all on the day. So well done, Will. Congratulations, mate.
I reckon Jack owes me a coffee too.
He does too.
Take a number, Will.
Buddy bet.
I'm still actually. You could have given me the chocolate donut you owed me from the women's best and fairest count. But anyway, there you have it.
Yeah.
Prince Alfred Old Collegians head back into the change rooms. Last time they did that here, it was with a premiership. That could well be next week as we have a look at some of the highlights, thanks to our producer Bodie there. Does a great work compiling all of these at exceptionally short notice. We're not going to spend a lot of time, Jacko, on the wrap-up. Can tell you Div 4 Grand Final. Pembroke Old Scholars are going to break a bit of a drought. They lead Hope Valley by about 47 points.
Wow.
24 minutes into the final quarter. They're ready to party. The rest, haven't really had any updated scores, bar what I told you at three-quarter time. So check the Adelaide Footy League site later in the night, and the Sunday Mail tomorrow, and the weekend wrap, thanks to Clinical Research, tomorrow night. Between the Posts, Grand Final edition will be huge. And then we'll be into it. We'll have the full team probably for the full day, I think, from what I've heard from Cooper Stadium next week. Any final words, Jacko, to sum up the day?
No, not really, Phil. But in saying that, I'll keep talking. We go to the inner sanctum. So lucky to get some access here and see the Prince Alfred. See if we can hear the song to take us out. Make sure the audio's picking it up.
Just faintly in the background. We're a bit lucky. I'm not sure how this is going to work at Norwood, given the change rooms are right down the other end, but they're right below us here, so the Wi-Fi connection worked. Big week ahead. Lambo, welcome back. Your final thoughts for the day?
Prince Alfred, especially after half-time, they went to another level. And you know what? They've been around for the last 2 years, boys, and on that form, their fitness is outstanding. They'll take it right up to Port Districts next week.
Smaller ground,
great game.
Smaller ground, Nord. Let's hope they're not as puffed as you are getting up the stairs, Lambo. Need to work on that fitness, and I'll chat to you about that off air.
What's that, sorry?
Just saying to the bloke who didn't go up or down the stairs all day. I mean, I'll confess I'm a hobbler, not a runner when I'm delivering those
I can't believe I did that 100 metres in 8.9 seconds, boys. That's the sort of team man I am. I'm here to help you through it. And, it's a good game of footy today, especially by Prince Alfred. And, they went to another level there after half-time.
Thanks for that, Lambo. Thanks to Jacko. Thanks to our producer, Bodie. Camera crew, James, who does a lot of work around the place. Alejandro, who's not on the match day team, but does a heck of a lot of work behind the scenes. John Douglas, of course, from Sports Interactive. Liam, I didn't forget Liam either. He's
how could you?
Part of the furniture each and every week, giving you the great shots. This is Phil Hurton saying thanks for watching. The big one next week. It will be Port District and Prince Alfred will be there. Thanks to Filming Footy, you've been watching the Adelaide Footy League.
See you, folks.
G'day guys, the Simon Black Academy is all about education and sport. Our partner in education is Torrens University, where our students either do a 1-year diploma course or a 3-year Bachelor of Business. Around that we run a football and athletic program based here at Norwood Oval, and it's all about trying to develop and take our students' game to a new level. Around that also, our third pillar, besides education and football, is personal development. If you want to get involved, check out our website, which is simonblack.com.au.
Well folks, we're down here at the Banner Crew. Our friend, supporter and sponsor of Between the Posts has joined us. Welcome Jason Goods.
Thanks Tony, nice to be with you.
What can the people out there expect to buy from the Banner Crew and get looked after?
Pretty much anything that you can put your club logo on or a message from the club, whether it be like you mentioned, a marquee or a flag or an A-frame or a banner, a stubby holder, a pen, anything like that, anything that you can pop the club branding on. Everything's customisable, so basically we've got an in-house design department with 2 graphic designers that can work toward getting the message across that you're after.
We're down here at 318 to 326 St Vincent Street, Port Adelaide. Jason, thank you so much for your support.